All right, welcome to session 28 of the Crossmeet campaign. Previously in Calthania, the party, after a promise to a departed soldier, they promised to travel to Sturder to check on his son, and they learned that his son, Simmel, was nowhere to be found, having abandoned his sick mother, who eventually died to the illness. They tracked Simmel to a church a few miles from town, a church of Kellenvor. And they found pretty quickly that all isn't right there. The townsfolk act almost drugged. Although the adepts and the priest Navarine assert that nothing is wrong. So the last thing that happened was it's early afternoon. You had been invited to a sermon that Navarine was going to give, but you declined, and instead you were hanging out outside. Balmera and Taru noticed that they were being watched, and Jodat cast I believe it was clairvoyance spell, and found a secret door in the priest's room. And I'm going to show you that map. Whoop. Wherever it went. Let me try that again. I'll show you a map, and you guys can go from there. So right now you guys are outside. I'll keep the indoor map up. But you guys are outside past the chicken coop, and Jada has just made this discovery. I believe from cover of the trees, he's found this secret entrance, which is inside a garderobe. So let's begin there. Let's start with Jodat and Grim, who are in the trees. So just describe what you're thinking, what you're doing, this recent discovery you made, whatever you like. Go from there.
So I guess I'm probably asking Jodat about this secret door since I can't see it. So I'm trying to get information. So what is it? What does it look like?
What do you mean? What does it look like? These stairs descend sharply down into darkness. It looks dark.
Well, no, I mean mechanism for opening it.
I think it's just in back of the clothes thing. You open door and walk in.
Okay. So all we need to do is get through into there and go into the priest room.
I suppose so. Yes.
So there's two ways we could do this. We could do some kind of diversion, or I could get in there.
If I can just suggest, you may want to rejoin your companions before you get too detailed a plan, since there's only the two of you there, and Balmera and Talrun are over by the building.
Nah, we got this.
I'm just talking a lot.
I'm sorry, I overstepped my boundaries. Balmera and Talrun, so you have spotted a dwarf named Sorval, who he's one of the ones who's been sort of deflecting your question, stuff like that, and working. And he's hiding behind one of the other buildings, trying not to be seen. But you spotted him, trying to keep an eye on you guys, basically. So you two can go from there.
Balmera will turn so she's with her back to Sorwell and facing Tolrun, so Sorun cannot see her face. And she will say in I guess in common. She doesn't know if he speaks anything else.
I speak to Wolfish.
Yeah, but he also speaks Dwarvish, so.
Yeah.
So she will say in a low voice. So, should we take care of him? Maybe knock him down? Just let him be.
He's not doing anything, is he? Just watching.
Oh, he's spying on us. But then again, I guess we're
Why
spying
don't
on
we?
them.
Yeah. We could confront him.
Yeah, good idea. Do that. I'll follow.
Alright. I'm gonna approach Torval. And I'm gonna do so.
As you start walking towards him, he realizes that you've seen him. He turns and he starts walking away all casual like.
Okay, so I call out to him in like a casual manner, like, "Hey, Torval. Oh, what are you doing out here?" And I try to play like kind of ignorant.
Okay. He says, "Why do you hang out by the chicken coop? What do you?"
We like chicken more than religion.
It's a shame. You really should come in and hear Navarine's words. Maybe they'll convince you of the wisdom of Kellamvor.
Perhaps.
That's true. When do the sermons start?
What did you say?
She asked him when does the sermon start?
Well, you know that Navarine invited you, and it was to be probably any minute now. But I thought you were also back by the chicken coop. I'll put up the outdoor map if you guys want. For now.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's just asking him to kind of keep talking to him. So what is he preaching about? The virtues of the afterlife, or what happens? What does happen when you die?
He's preaching about Navarine. You get taken across to wherever you're destined to be. Your soul is carried across in care. Come hear his words and learn for yourself.
Okay.
What are the tenets of your religion? What does Kellamvor ask of you?
Navarine can speak of them better than I can. Why not come inside? Where are your friends?
Oh, they had to relieve themselves, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to Grim and Joded for a minute. You guys can see a conversation occurring between Sorville, Balmera, and Talroon out in between these two chicken buildings, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are back here, kind of like by the edge, I guess, of the map, along the fringe of trees.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
No indication that they've seen you.
Right, and it doesn't look, but it doesn't look adversarial at the moment. It doesn't look like they're posturing or.
That's correct.
Okay,
that's correct.
Yeah, so I watch intently, but I'm watching mainly for signs that this is going to erupt into horrific. Actually, you know what? It just occurred to me to look up one thing here real quick. But yeah, I mean, unless I see something erupt into violence or threaten to erupt into violence, such as someone putting their hand on their sword or voices raised, that sort of thing. I'll hold and wait. Although I think I have a feat.
John, are you going to do similar? Are you going to hold and
no, okay, different one. Never mind. Okay.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna start walking back towards them, not necessarily afraid of what's going on, but the fact that everything we need to do is back in that direction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So once I kind of like do a little double take and see him going. I follow in behind him.
Okay. So, Dalmer and Talrun. So, Sorville says, "I'm going inside for the sermon now. I welcome you to do the same."
No, we'll do so in a moment.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, and you two make a perception check, please.
19.
Nice.
Also a 19.
So, you spot in the window that's above the flower garden on the ground floor. You spot a face or two looking out at you. Sorbo goes around the front of the building and enters the church. As far as you can see, there are no adepts or acolytes on the grounds, just you four.
Okay.
As you regroup.
Looks like everyone goes in for these sermons.
Yeah, someone is watching us from the windows. Maybe we should go in.
Perhaps perhaps we can watch the sermon and someone can see if something seems amiss.
Yeah, maybe we can find out if anything is going on here.
Do you want to share what you found, or anybody? Formulate a plan, anything like that, or are you just going to go in?
Well, we're not quite there yet, so I'm assuming they went in.
Which is completely blindly winged.
No, that has not happened yet. You rejoin them, I said. You reunite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So, is good conversation with the Fievel?
No, that's someone. Never mind. No, he was watching you. And Balmera told him that you were just relieving yourself on his chickens. So, it all should be good.
Okay, well, the suspicions that it is not all, what is the word, honky-dory is true. There is a secret passageway to underneath the temple inside of what's his face's room.
The head race?
Yes. He has a name though.
Sure he does.
But anyway, inside his room, inside of his closet, is a goat? What?
Where's it go?
Where does it go?
Goats have to go.
Underground. It goes underground. This is all I know. So now we have to figure out a way for all of us to get inside of his closet.
Well, what I do is, we're all kind of standing outside still at this point. Not, I assume most of the other people have gone in. So I give a quick look around to make sure that we're not being observed.
Well, as I already said, there's only the four of you outside that you can see. As far as you know, everyone's inside. Well, but you are, in fact, being observed by faces from the window.
Yeah. When you look around, I just kind of whisper, like, their faces looking throughout the window. They're looking at us.
So in that case, we'll step into sort of the little anteroom before the major prayer room, I guess.
Okay.
I'll kind of jerk my head over toward the cloaks, and we'll go over in that direction.
Okay. So yeah, there's cloaks that the same cloaks that all the acolytes wear. There's a bunch of them hanging there. And then there's coats and boots and stuff on the other side.
When we get into that room, can we hear the sermon in the prayer room?
You can hear, it sounds like people are settling in and jostling around. Okay. Maybe it's getting ready to start.
I say, now's a really good time for us to get get to the back room while they're still settling in. I can make 2 people invisible. Who's it going to be?
I'll volunteer.
What was that?
Make me invisible.
Okay. So, I begin casting, wriggling my hands like this, closing my eyes, and you see this kind of spider web of ectoplasm go over my hands, and I touch Torun with it, and you see this web sort of spread across him, and he just disappears. And I look quick. I look at Belmira for the slightest moment, and then flick my eyes to Jodat and touch him. Turning Jodat invisible.
Yeah. So, I am not here. He is not here.
Oh,
And you'll be
is
that
that what I look like when I look at Jordat?
And you'll be that way for 1 hour.
Right, but this does still not get us into the downstairs.
No, but you can get past the. You can get into the back hall if I make it. If I make a diversion, they won't notice the door opening and closing.
Sounds good. I guess we should hurry.
Well, we have an hour, but yeah, before they settle in, Belmira, you come with me.
Jordan, are you here?
Yes.
No. I stop and put my head down slightly. It's like I kind of glance on my shoulder. You know people can hear you, right?
Yeah.
I like that. They walk through the room and keep asking, "Are you here? Are you here? They're still with me."
I just imagine that would be really annoying. Like we don't know if each other's in the room.
You turn yourself invisible and then you put on a cloak.
You could hold.
Okay.
You could hold hands.
You good?
The buddy system.
Yeah, the buddy system.
Okay, so I guess we should sneak over to the door and wait for the distraction.
We'll follow in like right behind them, and since they kind of go to the right to go toward the back, I'll go to the left.
Actually, you should probably go in front of us, just so it's not like we have to open the first door.
Yeah,
So it's not like that door opens for no reason.
Good point. So we open the door and
Okay, so when you open the door, the room is fairly crowded.
Mhm.
You can see that most of the center of the room is filled with acolytes, and majority of these are townsfolk from Cerner. You can see some of the adepts. In fact, there's 2 near the door that you're coming through. There's 2 others near the far door. There's some near the pulpit with Navarine. There's 1 over by the window.
Okay.
Let me put that back up again.
So we'll walk in, and I will hold the door for Belmira, and I will just keep holding it for a little extra time, allowing for my companions to come in.
Okay,
And-
so one of the adepts you were speaking to yesterday, Flynn, he says, "Oh, I was told you weren't coming. I'm glad to see you've changed your mind."
Well, we're fairly fond of this town, and we'd like to know a bit more about it. We're curious, you might say.
Good. That is good.
Belmira just nods.
After I've sort of kind of gotten the feeling, given my companions enough time to go off to the side and then start walking down toward the door, which is, if I recall, is on the right-hand side.
No?
Okay. Yeah, right-hand corner. Okay, cool. So, once I give them a couple minutes to sort of begin working their way through the crowd without bumping into anyone, I say, I'd like to make a quick announcement though first. I say, excuse me, everyone. Attention.
Okay, you can get a few people's attention, but there's way too many in here to get them all. Most of them are focused on Navarine, but you can get the attention of maybe a dozen around you or so.
Well, in that case, I'll just put my hand up and I'll have this sort of glowing serpent sort of erupt from my hand, begin weaving over my head. Excuse me.
Just 1 second before we get to that. I want a stealth check from Jawdat and Talrun, please, and I'm giving you guys both advantage on this because.
That's 22.
Okay.
16 plus 0. 16.
That's cool. So the sound you make from your own footsteps is easily covered up by the rest of the noise in the room. But you have to be careful to dodge the crowd because they don't know you're there and they're walking around. Aside from that, you make it to the far door. Okay, so back to you, Grim.
Yeah. I say, sorry to interrupt, folks, but as you know, we're newcomers here. We come from Crossmeet, and we're here to learn more about your ways. We apologize in advance if we don't understand something and perhaps do something that might be considered inappropriate. And I just make a wild gesture. And I particularly apologize for my companion here, who is liable to say something highly offensive in the next hour or so. But thank you for allowing us to participate in your community's deeply spiritual activity. Thank you.
So Navarine is standing by the pulpit. Oh, go ahead.
When he is finished with his little speech, the mirror will do like a lady's bow. That kind of.
Nice. In response, Navarine, who's over by the pulpit, he smiles and he gestures. Come, join us. Join us here closer to the pulpit. Listen to the words of Kalimdor. We'll understand.
Well, of course. That's what we're here for.
Okay, so Jonathan and Talrun, there is an adept standing near that doorway, but his attention is clearly focused on what Grim is doing. What would you like to do?
Right, but by the doorway, you mean like he's in our way, or he's just relatively near it?
Near it.
Yeah, so
Not in your way.
So when Grim started giving the speech, I put my hand on the handle and like turned it fully, and I was just waiting for like everyone to probably be looking in the opposite direction. And then I pull the door open slightly so I can to try to slip through.
Okay, so I'll have, if you want to do the same there, Jawdat, I'll have you both make a stealth checks again with advantage and see if he notices this door. Grim did a pretty good job distracting them.
Yeah, 18.
That's enough, yeah.
Dum, dum, dum. 12.
That's enough too. Okay, so you get through and you gently close the door behind you, so you're just beyond that door in the right corner. Grim and Balmer, do you accept the invitation to move closer to the pulpit?
Yeah, I will. I'll start, working my way there with a big smile on my face.
Okay.
Waving to him.
But Balmer doesn't want to, but she follows Grim because she knows that in a short while he'll get into trouble and need someone who can fight next to him. So that's a yes.
Okay. So people start gathering around and they start focusing on Navarine, and he starts speaking about Kalimdor, Lion's Bane, Lord of the Dead, and Judge of the Damned, and he talks about how death isn't something to be feared, but a part of cycle of life, and understanding death helps to make you fear it less. And Equal
Ross,
respect for life and death. Yep.
I was going to say while I'm sort of listening to this, I kind of just take out my dagger. I don't have it like brandished in my hand, but I have it like under my cloak, and I'm pressing against the sort of like soft flesh in the palm of my hand, and I'm pushing the blade in so that it hurts, like almost to the point where it's like I can't do it, and so I'm just pushing it in. Maybe there's like a little trickle of blood running down the palm of my hand.
Okay.
As I push it in.
I think I know what you're going for here.
Yeah, so I'm trying to maintain concentration.
I gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to get back to you guys in a second. Meanwhile, Jada and Talrun, you guys are near the storage furniture door there. How would you like to proceed?
I start walking towards the priest door, but occasionally I'm just like, Jordan, you here?
Talrun is very insecure.
I instinctively
You still love me?
just raise up my finger like, shh, and then
Do you still love me?
so I'll get close up to Tolran and I can put my invisible hand on his back. And I'll just sort of
No problem.
wiggle it until I find him. That'll be the only thing there that I can touch that I can't see. That's what you think, invisible beholder.
That's not a finger.
You touch his. Torun, your eye stalk feels weird. Wait a minute.
All right.
So you can see that the priest door is locked. The other doors are not. You can faintly hear the sermon on the inside.
And the priest room is the one we want to get into, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As by the map, as you can see.
Yeah.
I could make an attempt at picking it if I had, but I don't have any tools.
That is not helpful.
So the two that can pick locks are on the other side.
Hey, I didn't make this plan.
Nobody made this plan.
What? No, that's not
Plan?
true.
When have our plans really ever worked?
When
I
we
don't know.
plan
You should
them.
try one and then follow it. That would be interesting to see.
Let's be honest.
Well, Grim just assumes that they won't work, so why bother?
No, well, I'd have to agree with you, Alex. So far, you're 0 for 0 on attempting to following through with your plans. So.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it's not my fault.
Well, while Navarine is holding his sermon, Bemera can't help but think of Silas and his short, but at least from her point of view, impactful inclusion in the party. And
Okay.
it kind of, with all that was going on with her family and all that, so as she sits there, she can't help but listen and kind of get emotional touched by it, and kind of suppresses some tears as she sits there.
Oh, excellent.
All right.
I want you go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
All right. So Grim and Balmera, I would like you both to make me wisdom checks. And Grim, you're going to get advantage.
Okay.
And Merit, you're gonna get disadvantage.
I was thinking about that because she's crying and so caught up in the words.
That's okay because I rolled 4.
Ouch.
So if I had disadvantage, I would have rolled 4.
I'm pretty sure that Dennis actually has real life disadvantage on saving throws.
That could be. Okay. It's not too bad.
DC's 10.
16? Oh, okay. 16.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to post this. I don't care if the other two read it, but technically this is just for Balmera and Grim. Grim,
Okay.
for you, the effect is fleeting, but not so for Balmera, okay?
Okay.
So in other words, Grim, it works on you for about a second.
Right. And then I look at Belmira's like fawning face and realize how creepy that really is. It's like, wait a minute. All right, so I
What?
Yeah,
She lost the love of her life. That's not creepy.
Navarine is still speaking on about
okay.
Kalimdor.
How far from the priest's door is the guy that we sort of shimmied past?
The church is 60 feet wide, and he's standing under the word furniture inside that prayer room. Does that help you?
Yeah. All right. And the robes that he was wearing did not indicate that he had any like rank past like the people we saw picking potatoes, right?
You've noticed that there are 3 ranks in this church. There are the acolytes, which are the townsfolk.
Right.
There are the adepts who don't seem drugged and seem cohesive and can hold conversations, and Navarine himself.
Okay.
Talrin, you're there with Jada if you want to discuss it.
Do you think that he can open the door? I nod towards the guy, then remember that he can't see me. Him over there.
I don't think so. Wasn't this his private, Navarine's private room?
Oh. How are we supposed to get inside? I really wish Graham would think these things through.
Well, maybe if I didn't have to do them all myself.
So burdened.
You hear his voice in your head. You're not sure if it's a magical power or if it's just you're internalizing him. But.
It's a trigger in every spell that Grim casts. If you speak ill of Grim while you have one of his spells on him.
How sturdy does this door look?
It's wooden. It's I'm gonna say medium sturdiness. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
It's not a piece of crap door, but it's not like a super sturdy door either. Somewhere in the middle.
So, Jordan, could you make some, I don't know, magical sound that is natural to this area, but could cover me breaking the door?
No.
You can't see me, but I was just about to punch the door. I'm like,
I can perhaps. Well, this will go one of 2 ways: very good or very bad. But you may get a chance to open door, and there is not. Yes. Next time, perhaps we should divide up differently for things like this. Yeah. Hey, I saw those eyebrows. I'm not the one that shows who to turn people invisible. So, Rob, I'm gonna cast basically thaumaturgy a couple times here.
Okay.
And the adept or the other guy, the NPC.
Yes.
I'm going to vibrate the ground underneath his feet a bit in this sort of low rumble, and then using the thaumaturgy to create these sort of creepy whispers. Wow. I don't know. He's either going to freak out and run away, or he's going to come over here. So I'm like,
I don't know if this helps your plan. You can hear that the people listening to Navarine's prayers are very enthralled, and there's often like joyous outbursts. So there's lots of loud sounds frequently coming from the prayer room. It's so loud you can even faintly hear it through the walls. That helps you.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna try and buy us a little bit of time here. All right, so Tolerant, I have idea. Yeah, when he either comes over here, punch him, or if he goes upstairs, break door. So I'm gonna rumble the ground underneath of him, and in my best impersonation of Kellenvor, using the thaumaturgy so that the whisper is sort of coming from all around him rather than necessarily one direction. Let's see. Oh, one of the faithful. Why do you stand down here, not listening to my message? Rumble, 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 rumble.
Okay. So the door opens immediately and closes behind him, and he's coming up the hallway looking puzzled left and right. He has an angry look on his face, almost hateful. I'm going to give you a second to mull that over. Meanwhile, back in the prayer room, okay, so Balmera, you're at least buying the what Navarine is selling at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I happen to notice this this guy going through the door?
If you like, but
well, yeah, 'cause I mean,
no one else really reacted. Well, but I'll say yeah.
Well,
There's another adept standing at the door, if that matters.
Yeah, no, my reasoning is that, obviously because I want my friends to be able to get to the prayer room without being interrupted.
Fair enough.
When I see someone go through, my eyes like, oh crap. So
I'll say you can't see it well just because of the throng of people. You're kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you also can see that Balmera has this dumbfounded look on her face.
Yeah, I go to turn to Balmera and I go, Balmera. Oh, shit.
She turns and looks at him, kind of like with red eyes, almost swelling up with tears, but she's trying to hold them back. And she kind of sniffles and look at you.
Never mind, Balmera. I'll take care of it myself. You and I just turn away. I'm going to sort of make my way through the crowd, like moving up toward the front.
Where the guy, the preacher is?
Well, sort of. I mean, I'm going to be kind of going off to the left-hand side.
Okay.
And over near the wall.
As you make your way through the crowd, you can do that. The acolytes part easily. Mm-hmm. It's also obvious to you that a lot of the adepts are watching you.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like put my hands on my head and kind of fan myself like, and I kind of go up against the at least in the way the map's oriented, the north wall.
Okay.
But whatever direction that is, and I'll kind of just like slump against it and.
Navarine is still speeching on about the pros of Kellenvor.
Okay, so Grim.
Go ahead.
Is what at the pulpit?
Well,
no,
he's kind of above it, I think, or above and to the left of it, or whatever.
Yeah, basically, I'm up. If you look at the section of the prayer room that comes in, like the big bulb there. I'm off to the right of that, but on the northern wall.
Other people, sorry, half Danish and half English. Are the people looking at him or looking at the preacher?
All of the acolytes, all of the townsfolk are following the preacher. The adept's eyes are upon him.
Yeah, so I'm looking as if I'm in a little bit of distress, so I'm like, putting my hands on my head and just breathing heavy and yeah,
But
covering my
Mary
face.
will stand up. We kind
Okay.
of do and kind of wipe her nose with her sleeve.
Okay. All right, we're going to go back to the hallway. Jada and Talrun. You see this adept coming up the hallway towards you. He's got an angry look on his face. His hands are in fists. He's scanning the hallway.
Yep, I'm going to punch him in the head.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm going to call that an automatic hit, but you can roll to see if you crit if you want.
Sure. I do not.
All right. So you smash him right in the face, or if that's what you're headed for, or the neck, or the kneecap, or whatever you want.
Yeah, I hit him in the head for 10 points of bludgeoning damage, but I'm also going to spend a key point, so he has to make a con save, because I'm trying to stun him.
Okay, his con is 10. That gives me a +0.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see this roll? When I have my screen share up? I don't know.
No, not while you have the map up. No.
I rolled an 8. So he failed his con save?
Yeah, he needed a 14.
Okay, so all he manages to do is stagger back a couple feet, and his back's against the wall. He's staring at you with glassy eyes. Now, Jawdet or Talrun, you can take an action now. So what's happened is you had your surprise round. We're starting the regular combat. I'm forgoing initiative rolls because he's stunned. So either one of you two.
If that was a surprise round, would I get like my extra attack and stuff?
good gracious.
Well, you can take an attack now. So how's that sound for you? He's stunned.
No. But if it was a surprise round, wouldn't I get my?
Right, but the way I do surprise is you get one action. Like, in any case, he's stunned, and it's probably not going to be an issue for you.
Yeah.
He's stunned.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
He's right there.
Yeah, attack anyway.
So your attack is going to be at advantage because he's stunned.
Yep. So that's a hit unless his AC is like 26.
Yeah, his AC is 13 actually.
His AC is 27.
He's a bitch.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2 hits and a crit.
Okay, so he smashes his head against the wall, and he slumps down to the ground, and you see him Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm just asking for clarification. My spell, the invisibility, would wear off?
Yes.
Did I take something?
That's correct.
Okay.
He doesn't see it in any case. And you guys notice that as he dies, for lack of a better term, his body starts to transform, and he looks more pale, more feral. His skin draws back tighter in his head. Clearly the shape you were looking at was not his true form, and you suspect you might be looking at that now. Very, very pale, sharp claws on his fingers.
So a ghoul or a vampire is Jada's immediate thought. Awesome.
Okay. I drag him into the storage for furniture room.
No problem. Yep, that's absolutely possible. So meanwhile, back in the prayer room, what's going on there? Grim is going into an act.
Yeah, if the adepts' attention are on Grim, Bummer will get up and kind of stumble through the throng of acolytes, and as she kind of goes, she kind of tries to disappear in the mist, and
okay.
When she does that, she will cast Disguise Self on herself.
I'm going to ask you to make me a stealth check because some of them would be watching you too, some of the adepts.
It is cool. 24.
Okay, so how do you disguise yourself then?
I want to disguise himself as Søren, the dwarven adept.
Sorvel.
Sorvel, sorry.
Okay. Does that allow you to change your clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can change yourself within a certain parameters.
Okay.
I don't think
No,
I
I
can-
just know that there's a bunch of different ones that have different levels what you can change. If you can change your clothes, cool. So when you come out of it, you're wearing a robe that looks just like the adept robes.
Yeah, and then she will as ins, ins, as unnoticeable as possible to kind of wanders over towards the storage door, or the door leading into the storage area.
Okay, so one of the other adepts who's by the door, Sorvo, where are you going?
I heard a voice. Come with me.
All right, I'd like you to make me a deception roll with advantage.
You know, the level of lying we do in this party, we should all have advantage on that.
I'm going to make
Who have the pathological lie
an
trait.
insight roll. Ooh, you got to beat an 18.
I'm not gonna do that. I only rolled a 12.
Oh, I rolled 18 on my insight check. You heard a voice. What voice? There's no one else. Hey, where are those other two? Weren't there 4 of those?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We better go take a look.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan and Talrun, you hear the door open, and
So let him go in first.
you see 2 adepts coming up the hallway, one of which looks like Sorville, and one which looks like not Sorville.
Like so.
So really not survey.
Okay.
They do not see you. You guys are in the closet at the moment, and they're come walking up the hallway.
Okay. So the door to the prayer room is now shut behind us, and we're in the little corridor.
That's correct.
Okay.
So he goes walking up to the priest door. He turns around and he looks at you. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Let's look in here. He opens the door to the closet, and he sees you, Talrun. He does not see you, Jadat.
Right.
And that's when I sneak attack him.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. Go for it.
Kellenvor's church, the church of the dead, as in everyone inside of it, dead.
Okay, so he doesn't expect that, so I'll get an advantage on that attack, right?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Because the way I'm rolling.
It's a sneak attack in every sense of the word.
So that's 18 to hit.
Yep, you need a 13.
That's 8, that's 9, that's 13 points of damage.
Okay. He goes staggering forward. I'm going to have the 3 of you roll initiative now.
Yeah, so that's 24.
I got a 1 on my initiative roll. So let's just say that the 3 of you can go whatever order you want.
Okay, so when Bellbear sort of sneaks attack this adept and stabs him in the back and he stumbles forward, I punch him in the face as he's falling into me.
Go ahead.
With a 9.
It's poor bad.
Okay, so that is over 20, a 17, and a 16.
All right, so he folds like a sack of potatoes, and he also goes through a similar transformation. Now he looks like what Jadad said, but he's wearing clothes. Okay, he's still wearing
And
the robe.
I look at Sorvo and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm doing
so you're
this.
not with them?
I'm doing this and let the disguise fall.
Sure.
No, it's me. Don't kill me.
So, I think there is something very
Door
bad
open.
going on here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's with Grim, I think he's having some sort of breakdown. He's up at the corner in the prayer room crying.
Well, I'm sure it's all part of his plan.
So what are these guys? And she looks at the ghoul. No.
Vampires.
This is a good. I do not know.
I knew it. I said they were vampires.
Okay, but do you think you can open that door to the priest room?
Yeah, sure.
What do they appear to be, Rob? Like, is there a way that I can make some educated conjecture on it?
Let me say that your conjectures seem like a really good guess. Let's just say that.
Either ghouls or vampires. Awesome.
Close. Yeah, you're
So-
definitely in the right ballpark.
Right. So.
Undead of some kind.
Yeah, with my extensive knowledge of undead, basically what they taught me at Bible boot camp.
One of the crash courses.
ha-
This is a skeleton. Yes,
are
it's
they-
for skeleton.
are they dead enough that we don't have to worry about them coming back right now? Like,
Yes.
okay.
We need them more dead.
More dead than
The
undead.
zombie goes brain.
All right.
Okay, so
Both of you work on getting the door open. I will.
Yeah.
I'll go get Grim.
well, careful because
I'm
I think-
invisible.
Oh, I forgot.
Phil, be careful. Well, he's she will wait a while, I guess, until she's fairly certain that he left, and she will go up to the door into the priest room, and she will check
Okay.
out the lock.
Mhm.
She will
Mhm.
get
I'll
her,
follow after her.
Hey, Rob,
Yes.
just don't let them get too far ahead. Just
I'm not. I'm coming back to you just in a couple of seconds,
okay.
and then the
But-
shit's hitting the fan.
then Mel will get her brand new thieves tools kit out, and you can hear as she rolls it up. The leather will sound like creaky new and not really worn.
It has that new thieves' tool smell.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she'll
you see some packing peanuts fall up.
yeah, the packing peanuts. And the pigs have a little piece of cord on it to protect it. So she'll get it out and kind of like take out the lock and see if she can determine if the
The DC is 15. Go for it.
okay. So
That's not too bad.
+6, that's plus
Well, you can do that.
22.
Okay, so you hear a satisfying click, and it unlocks. Jadat, you are going inside, back inside the prayer room.
Yes.
Okay. When you walk in, the adept that was near the door is no longer there. Grim, you notice that some of the adepts come to the pulpit and are whispering to Navarine, and he starts looking around the room.
Mm-hmm.
He stops sermonizing and he's looking around the room and conversing quietly with his adepts.
Okay.
So, do you want to do something?
Yeah, as soon as their eyes are sort of on each other, because when they start talking, I've sort of quieted down. First drawing attention to myself, and then letting it sort of fade away from myself. And as soon as I see them sort of like kind of huddling up and talking about things, I take this as my chance, and I kind of glance over to the wall at it would be my left, which would be the wall between the prayer room and the priest room. And
Okay.
and I look at it and I imagine the empty space on the other side. And I try to think of how thick the wall is based on what I've seen so far.
Okay.
I envision the space, the height, the wood, and And as I sort of like go to put my hand out to like lean down on it to rest myself, I reach my hand out toward the wall, and my body sort of just blurs for a moment, just and vanishes, and hopefully appears on the other.
What spell is this?
Actually, it's a
Misty Step.
no, actually it's not. As a conjurer, at 6th level, I can do benign transportation. So
neat.
Okay.
So.
It's basically it's kind of like teleported dimension door kind of thing.
No, I like this. You guys are keeping me out jumping. This is good. All right, so Grim, you reappear. You appear in the priest's room. Balmera, just as you walk in, Grim appears before your eyes.
She gives up a little yelp.
Jawdet, you see that the sermon has come to a complete stop. Navarine, all his adepts, and some of the acolytes all start moving en masse toward the door you're standing by. They don't see you.
Right.
You also see Grim vanish.
Okay. So I don't know that he can do whatever he just did, but I've seen a Misty Step before, so I'm assuming that he did that because that's what he mentioned to me earlier. This. Sorry. I was not ever expecting to run into undead, so it was not something I'd really based any sort of thought parameters.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, well, I hadn't based any sort of thought parameters for Jawdad, like, on... Alright.
I think everybody gets channel divinity at least.
Yeah. And what was kind of cool is I just really got the ability to actually turn undead, per se. So it's kind of cool that this is happening right after I get that ability.
Well, strictly speaking, you don't see any undead where you are.
Right. However, all of the adepts have been them so far, and something creepy is going on, and there's some sort of mind control.
All true. All true.
And Navarine's pretty much a douche.
All true.
All right.
He's been nice.
He has been nice. All right, so I'm going to step... I'm assuming that they're going to have to come down to that doorway south of the storage furniture room to turn into that hallway. Right.
You've got like 15 people approaching you right now.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to, I believe, cast a spell and then run like crazy.
Okay.
So,
see, this is why we're doing plans.
Well, I mean, yeah. And in fairness, we asked for it.
And also, I mean, if you get into trouble, Jawdad usually sorts it out, so...
Yeah. So they're counting on you to save them is what he's saying there.
So Grim makes the plan. Jawdad's job is to make sure we survive Grim's plan.
You know what? It's a plan that has worked so far, so... I'm so sorry. I just...
My plans are so deep. Okay, so back in the hallway. Let's just jump back to the hallway. Sure. The three of you, or two of you, are in the priest room. Towering in the hallway, just outside the priest room. The door is open. Mm-hmm. You can see there's a bed. There's a nightstand, like a small table next to the. Table with drawers next to the bed.
Yeah, I'm just gesturing.
And there's a big garderobe. There's a closet with clothes.
Yeah, I'm just gesturing for them madly to sort of get in. Like.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting in. And I'm going to the closet. I believe that is where I was told the passage was.
Yeah, the wardrobe or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I shouted to Tyrone, kind of in a shouted whisper as he goes by. Where's Jawdad?
He's not here.
Yeah, he went out in the room.
I thought he was with you.
All right, Rob. How long is it gonna take them to reach me?
You have 1 round. You can do your spell and run. You have time for that.
Okay. So,
You are invisible, so they're not
right
running.
there is that bonus. It's just
Should we go into the wardrobe?
Yeah,
Watch out.
I'm going in it.
watch out for lions.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's just a simple latch, not locked, to open the doors, and you can see that yes, there's there's no back on this garderobe, and there is a hallway that is like it's like hard packed mud. It's
Okay.
not stone walls or anything, and stairs that lead steeply down, and it's dark.
Okay. She will follow Torun and to grab a winter coat on the way because you never know.
Grab a winter coat from where? I
Yeah,
suppose you could
wardrobe.
grab something out of Navarine's closet there if you want.
No, we're going to a wardrobe.
Right. It was the Narnia thing. Okay.
Are you following there, Grim? Down the
No,
stairs?
I'm looking around for Jodet. Jodet.
Okay. Jada, about to make the most amazing play ever made in the history of D&D. Go.
Don't know about that. All right, so I'm going to wait for them to get right up to the doorway.
Okay. Do you want to keep yourself between them and the door, though, so you can
No.
get out before, or are you letting them past you?
No. I'm going to be on the other side of the door. Now this is just a
Okay.
doorway, not a door, correct?
No, there's a door. It's an
All right,
actual
great.
door.
So yeah, I'm going to be on the hallway side of it while they're on the prayer room side of it. Right?
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to wait for them to get close to the doorway, and then I'm going to close the door.
Okay. So you open the door. When they see this, they start running towards the door, and you slam it.
Right, and then as soon as I hear the first hand touch the knob, handle, whatever,
Yep.
I start casting, and the little sand angels with their little trumpets and tiny swords and stuff appear all around me.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that the people on the other side of the door are within 15 feet of me.
Right. Some
they-
of these people are townsfolk, eh? So just so you know.
Well, wait. The ones. All right. You said it was adepts and Navarine that were running towards us or towards me.
Right. There's also townsfolk, but they're behind them. There's about 10 townsfolk joining them,
Okay,
but they're behind them.
that's fine. So basically, all I want this to do is extend maybe 5 feet past the door, and I've got a
Okay.
15-foot block I can drop it on.
Okay.
And everyone who would be inside of that 10-foot block or 5-foot block on the other side of the door needs to make a wisdom save.
Okay. After you cast the spell, are you running?
No, because it's centered on me. So
Okay.
I'm going to basically what I'm going to do is cast it here, let it hit them, and then I'm going to run around the corner and let it, and stop and let it hit them again. Basically, I'm going to keep trying to break line of sight so they can't directly charge me. But I'm going to be doing a very slow retreat back to the priest room. Like, I know where my companions are. It's just I'm trying to slow this group of, in my opinion, undead, bloodthirsty monsters down. I don't expect to be able to kill them, but I can slow them down.
By the way, as soon as you cast, you become visible.
That's fine.
I'm perfectly willing to go with this. Just like they got to get your turn's going to end, and then their turn's going to happen. So, do you want to still move while it's your turn?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll move right up, basically around that corner. So I'll be even with the storage furniture door.
Okay, who win?
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Hooray!
XP and loot for everyone except Torun.
Man,
because he
my
got-
stupidity stunned him. Crap.
So- Well, I'm gonna take this opportunity to run to the bathroom. So if he goes, let him know why.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Uh,
I heard that. Okay, so this is what happens. You do your backing up. The door opens. A bunch of these depths come through, led by Kellenbor. These things are visible, right?
I'm sorry.
These things
Led by
around.
who?
I'm sorry, Kellenbor. Sorry, led by Navarine. I'm sorry.
yeah, if the
We're not going to win this battle.
That changed
Not-
things.
Yeah, not Kellenbor himself. That's fair.
I'm getting out of that.
These things whirling around you, they're visible, right?
They are.
Yeah, okay. So you see Navarine, he transforms into something that looks very much like a wraith.
Okay.
And he moves right through you.
Well, wait a second. He moves through the entire spell effect, not suffering any consequences from it.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I never said that.
Because,
You cut me off.
because if he fails his save, his movement's halved.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So
But- so that's what he's gonna. That's what he's
Okay.
gonna attempt to do. Move through you. Okay. So he's gonna make a will save, and then so basically 4 of these other guys are gonna move as well. They're gonna take
Okay.
damage, and then they're gonna take their attacks if they survive. So
which
I'm
they
gonna
will.
make 5 will
But we're
save-
hoping that they get
5
slowed
will
down.
save rolls right now. The others can certainly hear this combat occur behind you in the hallway. So, what's the DC, Steve? What's your spell DC?
16.
So failures take how much, and success takes how much?
All right. So if they fail, they're taking 22 points of damage.
Okay.
If they succeeded, they are taking half as much, so 11.
Right on. Okay. I just need
Now
one more.
is obviously I would assume that Navarine in his crazy wraith form is still approaching me.
Yeah. So first of all, you have to make a. Let me just see here. A con save. The DC is 15. This is just for him moving through you.
Sure. No, I got a 15 on the die, so.
All right. So
Yeah.
you feel a coldness as he passes through you, and then he's going to rake at you, and I got to roll to hit. +7. I'm going to stop this.
+7. Well,
So 23, I'm assuming, hits you.
nope. Not anymore. I changed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I decided to go ahead and wear my Tarask.
Okay. Well, that's a D10. That's wrong. 2, 3, 4. So you take, that's +3. 48 +3. Necrotic damage. So you
I think
take
it's- I
17
think it's-
points of necrotic damage.
Yes.
I
Everyone else
said
heard
48. Yeah,
Sorry, 4
No, that's
D8.
fine.
or
You
D8.
take
yeah.
7 points of
Big difference.
necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by. Oh yeah, you get a con save. You need a DC 15 con save.
Big money.
Let's see. I rolled a 12. Con of +3, 15.
Okay. Otherwise, your hit point maximum is temporarily reduced by that same damage.
Sweet.
So, and needless to say, he hacks you, or he claws at you.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
take 17 points of necrotic damage. Grim, you can hear him call out in the hallway.
Yeah. Well, he's visible at this point, so
Yeah, I mean, you also hear him cry out.
yeah.
You
Well,
can see him doing
now,
battle
I'm
with these
basically
things.
waiting at the door. I was waiting for him to sort of run through, so I can
I
close it and
understand.
secure it.
And if
So-
it
I
matters,
understand.
Rob, all the damage that they took is radiant damage, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know that it does, but so I'll tell you what
Just in
happened
case
though.
they had,
Is you
just in case they had reduction to,
I don't think they do, but all right. So you did serious damage to Oh, I did too many there. You did serious damage to 3 of them, and you wounded another. They're going to get some attacks at you. They are staying within this field, so I think they're going to take damage again
They will.
when their turn
How
comes around.
wide is the hallway? I can get, what, 2 of them up against me
So
at a time,
I see it about
basically?
15 feet wide. That's how I'm
Okay.
seeing it.
So 3.
So I get 4 attacks at +3. Clear.
Wait, 4? Okay.
No, sorry, 2 attacks. 2 attacks. 4 of them took damage. That's why I was thinking.
Right. And then I've got Navarine and then 2 of them right up against me.
Navarine's on the side of you now.
Oh, that's right. He's trying to flank me because he can flank
Right.
through me.
So one of the ghouls hits you for that's 2d6 plus 3 slashing damage, and you can make a con save.
One of these days, I'm not going to make the con save.
Con
If it's 15,
save
I made it
is-
again.
It's only 10 for the ghouls.
Okay.
You take 6 points of slashing damage from the ghoul claws.
Okay.
It is Grim's turn, then Balmera, then Talrune. Grim, you are in the room, kind of behind him. Navarine is between you, or the wraith that is now Navarine is in between you and Jaudet.
Yeah.
Balmera, you're in the hallway, and Talrune, you're in the hallway upstairs. And so we're going to go in that order now. Grim, it's your turn.
Okay, wait, I'm a little confused. Now,
All right,
did you put the map?
no problem.
All right.
No problem. So here's how
so-
I'm picturing it. Let me just
Yeah.
do the recap. You've got can you see this little hand?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 4 ghouls here.
Yeah.
Okay, caught in Jaudet's thing.
Yeah.
There are some more ghouls and some townsfolk even beyond that, also trying to reach him.
Right.
Navarine is here. You are in the room.
Yeah.
Then Balmera. Then Talrune.
Right. So
Door
where's
is
Jaudet? Where's Jaudet?
Jaudet's right in the middle.
So the wraith passed him.
Yeah,
Went
it
right
flew
through
right
him.
through me.
Oh, okay.
Going
That's
forward.
what confused me. Okay.
No
All
problem.
right. So yeah. So I'm really hoping for Jaudet to get here. In the meantime,
You can see all this.
yeah. I can obviously see the this wraith as well. So ooh, well, fire does purify. But that's gonna be pretty dicey.
Yeah,
So
and Jaudet often bragged about how he was immune to fire. So
There's also the townsfolk at the end of the hallway, which you may care about. I don't know.
I don't
maybe.
remember that
No,
particular brag.
Now, what I'll do is I sort of I sort of draw my hand back as I'm holding onto the door, and you see this sort of purple, this dark purple vapor sort of erupt on my hand, and this bright, purplish white glow in the middle, and I look toward this wraith-looking thing, and I arc my hand towards it, and you see this this bright white purple arc of electricity sort of reach out towards it, which will, I think I have to wait. Yeah, range attack. Okay, so 18, 19.
Sorry, you need a 16. That's a hit.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Good enough. Okay. And this thing takes 10. No, I'm sorry.
1,000.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna use no, actually, I can't. It takes 10 points of electrical damage as this purple bolt sort of like arcs into. And
Make me an Arcana check, please.
sure, it is a it's a witch bolt, so I can maintain it.
Hmm?
Geez, natural 20. Okay. So whatever it is,
So-
I knew.
So what you notice is that while the electricity hurts it, it doesn't hurt it as much as it should.
Well, hey, if it's hurting it, it's hurting it. So
Just so you're
Great.
informed.
yeah, thank you.
Balmera? Oh, you can move if you like.
You talking to
You
me
want to
about
move,
Lara?
Grim? Grim, you can
No,
still
no.
move. I didn't mean to cut
No,
off your turn if you're not done.
I'm not gonna leave John at. So I'm gonna wait for him to make sure
Okay.
he's.
All right. So it's going to go Balmera, then Talrun, then
Okay.
Jadat, and then back to my other guy.
Hearing the commotion, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, assuming that Jadat will let out a scream as he's being frozen. Or touched by
You're very much aware there's a battle going on.
Right. I have definitely made at least a couple of.
So she will go out and kind of stand next to Grim and kind of like look at like the battle going on. And can I assume that since you mentioned the town folk so many times that we can see them?
Right. Yes, you can. So to recap, the townsfolk are kind of in the corner at this point. Then there's a bunch of adepts, then Jadat, then Navarine, then this room.
Okay. Okay. I mean, the spell is 90 feet, so it should be the spell should be long enough. But can she see the townspeople to affect them?
Yes?
Okay, she will cast sleep on them, and hopefully that will take them down so they won't fight.
Okay. Excellent. So don't even roll. I'm going to say all the townsfolk you can see drop, poop, all go to sleep. The undead, of course, are immune to it. So, yeah. So none of the townsfolk that you can see are moving. They're all just lying on the ground.
Sweet.
Hey, that's funny. I will be soon too.
Do you want to move there, Balmera?
Yeah, she's gonna move. Yeah, she's gonna move so she's out of the way should Torvund come storming behind her. She don't want to be knocked over again.
Okay. Talrun, make me a storming roll. Now, what would you like to do?
Rolled a 4 on my storming.
Oh,
There's
you
not
failed
really
the
a
storm.
storm in here.
So you can get into the fight, but not in an impressive-looking way.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think when you roll a 4 in your storming roll, you're going to have to slink into battle.
Embarrassed. Yeah.
I slink slowly into the battle.
You fight like a Canadian.
I don't want to fight.
Sorry.
Yep, sorry.
Alright, so when I look in the hallway,
I'll buy you.
am I correct in saying that Jordan is surrounded by ghouls and a wraith?
Ghoul, he's
The wraith would be between you and Jadat, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching way too much Stargate lately. I heard ghouls and wraith, so I was like, wait a minute, are we playing D&D or Stargate? I'm confused.
Well, Jada's dead.
I don't even get that reference, so... Torun's terrified of the wraith-looking thing, but it looks like Jordan's going to be torn apart, so... I'm gonna run to where Jordan is, and then I'm gonna try strike each of the ghouls.
You have to run through this wraith to get to where Jadat is. The wraith is between you and Jadat.
It looks translucent, right?
Yeah, somewhat.
There's also a
I've
cloud
never
of,
met a ghost before.
There's also a cloud of whirling angelic sand creatures wielding swords around me.
And playing trumpet.
Non-discriminatory ones.
Non-discriminatory ones.
Would that be
I haven't been hurt by them before.
What's that?
I haven't been hurt by them before.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah,
The wraith
I'm
is
still
also
doing that.
attacking Jadat, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and my goal is to just give Jordan a chance to run into the priest's room.
Okay, so you're doing what then?
So I'm running through the wraith to which order it is, and I'm attacking the 3 ghouls. So I'm assuming I take damage from the Wraith and
you can't run through the Wraith. Just because it can move through you doesn't mean the reverse is true.
So instead you run into it.
But you can attack it. Or you can run past it. You can't run through
You said it was blocking me.
I said it was in between, but the hallway is 15 feet wide, and it isn't.
Well, yeah, then I walk past it.
Okay, so you're just going to get an OA then as you run past.
Mm-hmm. I will spend a key point to use dodge as I'm running through.
So I got to roll with a disadvantage?
Yeah.
All right, so I hit on the first one, so I'll roll again and miss. Okay, so the good news is you make it to these ghouls. The bad news is you take how much damage, shot at from the daggers?
Make a wisdom save.
18.
Alright. So you'll only take half of it. And it's 11, so 5 points of damage.
Okay.
You know,
Alright, so
we
He's going to
are
help you by bleeding beside you.
alright, so yeah, now I'm attacking 2 of the ghouls.
All right. You're
That's an
throwing a
18.
or something? You need a 13.
Yeah, an 18 and a 13, so...
Okay, so you're striking each of them once, yep.
Yeah, so one takes 8 points of damage, and the other takes 7.
Okay, so both of these ghouls had already been injured by these sand daggers, and both drop. The 2 other ghouls are going to take their place, but they're going to take some damage, I suspect.
Yes.
And it's their turn right now. So they take damage at the start of their turn, is that correct?
Yeah, so yeah, any time that they move into, begin, or begin a turn. So
Gotcha. I rolled a 1 and a 2 on my
Okay.
saves, so they did not save.
8, 11, 16 points of damage, and then their movement speed is now halved.
So one of them is destroyed. The other one is going to try to claw Talrun.
So this is a
disadvantage
new
with
set of
unarmed.
ghouls, which is why they're acting now, correct?
There was a 4 coming at you. You killed 2. You've now killed a 3rd.
Right. No, the reason the turn order was me, them, our side, and now there's a group of them going. So I'm assuming it's because this is the new combatants. I was just making sure I had the image right in my head. That was all. I don't care.
You do have it right in your head. To clarify, they were there the first round, but they couldn't get to you. But now the ones that were in their way are dead, so they can get to you.
Right. I'm just questioning whether or not I would act before them since my initiative was before them. But go ahead. And
I had them all at the same initiative. That's how I did it. All 4 at the same initiative.
Right.
So in any case, I missed on my attack against Talrun. I rolled a 7. So that takes us to Grimm's turn, I believe. Oh no, wait, Navarine's turn. What am I thinking?
No, it takes it to my turn. I haven't done anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
That's why I was confused.
Corrected. I said corrected. Go ahead.
All right. So we're gonna try a Billy Badass Cleric moment, and it'll either be totally awesome, or we'll figure out what I'm gonna play for the next couple of sessions. So I'm assuming that, and correct me if I'm wrong, the rules say that I can draw a weapon during a movement as part of movement. Yes.
As long as you're going to use the weapon, I think is the rule. But yeah, it's good enough.
All right. So I'm going to move, I guess, 5 feet, because I can't really get past the Wraith right this moment without him attempting to myrtleize me. So basically, if you're looking at the scene, the way it would be painted in a sort of the cinematographic version is the armor that has just been fashioned for me by Stasi and Levant, and then Balmera is sort of rended a bit from me and laying sort of in the same iconic folds that my old cloth used to lay, and it's not supposed to lay that way because this is a metal armor. Beneath that, there is this sort of burly orcish chest, which is probably bleeding more blood than it's ever bled in the entire run of this adventure. And I'm panting, and my top lip is sort of pulled back in a snarl, and my tusks are maybe a little more pointed than they normally are, breathing heavy and the sweat glistening. So as I step back, sort of trying to get a survey of what's going on, I'm going to thong the table leg, my mace. And as I do, I'm going to bring it up as I'm going to wield it, and then I turn loose of it so that it sort of stays right next to me in the air. And as I do that, I bring my hand down in a slicing motion, and in this sort of bellowing, guttural version of my my guardian, my spirit weapon spell. I sort of it's half common, half orchestra that the spell comes out in, and these larger whirling coins with serrated edges will appear next to me. And as my hand finishes that chopping motion, I'm going to guiding bolt the wraith. So the room gets this warm gust of air that maybe feeds in from outside. It's not a reaction; it's a bonus action.
No, you're doing fine. I think he's asking about something else.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bonus action spell. So the warm air sort of rolls in from outside, and there's this weird mixture as a little bit of moist leaf fall blows into this hallway, sucked in from outside as the temperature comes up in here, and there's this distinct smell of dried salt and sand as the guiding bolt's going to sort of coalesce and then leap from the holy symbol that's in my hand towards Navarine, and all of the attacks I have are going to be focused on him right now. So it'll be
including the mace.
Yeah. So
okay,
the mace, the spirit weapon, and then the guiding bolt. So I'll start with the guiding bolt here.
And let that be a lesson for him. Don't piss off Jardad.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can hit him first. We have inspiration, yes? Do we? I don't know. I'm not going to use it right now, but I think I already used mine.
Yes, everyone has it, yes.
Okay. Well, then I will use it. Well, because a 4 on the first die is not going to hit him, but a 15 will hit. Well, 15 plus Dex will hit him, so. Alright, so we'll do guiding bolt damage first. Again, this is radiant if it matters. 5 and come on, whatever. We'll use that one. 6, 11, 14, 17, 23, 27 points of damage from that.
Okay. What kind of damage is that?
Radiant.
Okay.
The next attack roll made against a target before the end of my next turn has advantage. So the spirit weapon, I guess, since it's attacking next, will technically use that up, unfortunately, rather than giving it to a party member. But
go ahead.
Let's see. Spirit weapon. 18 will hit him, yes?
Yep, you need a 16.
Alright. What's 1 die? 8. So 6 plus 4, 10 points of damage from that.
Okay, and that counts as a magic weapon, so okay. Yep.
And then the table leg will swing at him, and it'll hit a 16 exactly. And it's only gonna do 4 points of damage, but
okay. So he curses at you and says, "Even victory here is pointless."
Ow.
He's meaning your victory. Now, Talrun, just for clarification, so are we good? Because he only took one reaction, the Wraith. So
No. I was just.
All right.
Yeah, I don't care. I was just responding to Steve saying that
okay.
The Wraith could have hit him if he went past.
So the Just so okay, so the turn order is Jadat, Navarine, the ghouls, Grim, Balmera, Talrune, and so Navarine is going to go right now, and he is going to use Arms of Hadar. So everybody must make a strength save. The DC is 15.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Imagine that. The monk's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the strength bonus.
You're still taking half
So-
damage even if you save.
Hold on. Die on the floor.
It's a win.
I don't count floor dice. 10.
Okay, so those who failed will take 6 points of necrotic damage, and you can't take reactions until your turn comes around again. And if you saved, you just take half damage. So you're going to take 3 points of necrotic damage there, Talrune. Now, the Wraith is going to attack you, Talrune. So it's going to try it. That was a bonus. I can do that as a bonus action, Arms of Hadar. So he slashes at you with a oh, I got a crit. 33. So I'm going to just do some double damage to you. So oh my god. So you're going to take 8d8 damage.
You had kind of a little Bob Ross thing going there. And you're going to take a little double damage.
Right.
A little double damage right
Have some
here.
happy little crits.
Here's a happy little crit. A happy little crit.
Sorry.
Any way you want.
I'm trying to keep it going. Alright. So you're going to take 13, 21, 27, 28, 30, 32, 35 points of necrotic damage.
Ouch.
So right now it's the ghoul's turn, but I jumped. They already went by mistake, but they still do have to take their damage from whatever those things are, Steve.
Right. So it'll be another wisdom save on their part.
Right.
What's that?
No, I rolled a 1 again on the wisdom save. So I'll tell you what. Don't even roll. You kill another one of the ghouls. So you've killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting the 2 you took out in the hallway. So there are 2 ghouls left who are going to move into position on their next turn. And the townsfolk are all sleeping at the bottom, and Navarine is still on one side. So to recap, we have Navarine. From the bottom we have sleeping townsfolk, 2 ghouls, Jadat, Navarine. Jadat and Talrune, Navarine, Grim, and Balmera. And it is your turn, Grim.
Okay. So I'm still maintaining this bolt of purple lightning against him. So I will continue
He's
to.
going to take a little bit of electricity damage.
Yep. Because I was rolling 7. So he takes another 7. Now I can maintain that and do other things. So what I end up doing is I have my right hand out, and you can see my iron ring sort of glowing in this bright purplish color as the lightning kind of arcs out. With my other hand, I reach up, I grab behind my head, and I pull it over like this, and you see this kind of glowing arc come over my head, and it forms into like a plate armor helmet, and then it just spreads over my
Nice. Nice.
And around my hands, and you see the mage armor come up, and it kind of remains too. So there's this kind of faint sort of purplish in this kind of shadowy area. It's kind of this purplish armor around me that just conforms to my body, all segmented, almost like a lizard. And
Okay.
Again, still holding the lightning.
Transformers.
I was thinking more Iron Man.
Oh yeah, Iron Man. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Talrune was the one that got ravaged by Naveen, right?
Yeah, it is your turn, Grim.
I did my mage armor.
Yeah, it's Grim's turn. I'm sorry, Belmera's turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes and I'm looking back.
That's right.
It's okay. Grim can probably do more damage than she can, so if
So-
she So,
What do
but
you
Matt
want to do?
He's kind of confused because it's normally not Jardat getting beat down. It's usually Torun.
I just did that too.
She will step out of hiding, and she will focus on the golden circles on her head, and it will kind of
Sure.
like start to emanate with fire.
Excellent. Okay.
And she will shoot the wraith dude 3 times
Okay.
with it.
All right. Make 3 attack rolls.
What is his AC?
16.
Okay, I hit with 2 then.
Okay.
So is that 1d10 or 3d10 per bolt?
3d10.
Sweet. Big money.
So that's 20, 30. Oh, hang on. $20, no, 37 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yep. So you then notice that while it does harm, it's not as effective as it should be.
Okay.
And that takes us to Talrun.
Okay. So
you've got Navarine
Yeah,
kind of behind you, you've got Jadet beside you, and you've got 2 ghouls approaching, and you're also standing in some blades, so make a wisdom check.
Make a wisdom save!
Yep, 18.
Alright. Half damage. I'm gonna kill our own monk.
He killed himself. If that happens.
17, 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage,
Yeah.
and then halved, or 8 points of damage?
No, it was 17 halved. Yeah, it's 3 die 8 each time.
I'm not,
okay.
I'm not trying to be rules lawyer or anything, but you're sure that doesn't exclude allies? Or
It literally says you have to select targets, and since no one was in the hallway with me when I did it,
Yeah, he didn't mark him.
I can't. They have to be within line of sight.
Yeah, but
just
In any
guys,
case,
fine.
it's your turn, Talrun.
Yeah, no, I'm going down.
Okay. Boom. You fall down. And that brings us to the top of the order. So Jadet, he falls down beside you.
Uh-huh.
You've got 2 ghouls approaching. You've got Navarine behind you, and Balmerian Grim on the other side of that.
oh, maybe we can get a Bob discount on race stats.
Alright. Well, this isn't concentration. We're going to be... Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Navarine, that's for you.
Right, so Navarine is still... He hasn't moved. So we are going to sort of repeat the last run of
Alright.
things here.
Second verse, same as the first.
Well, kind of. So the only difference is the spirit weapon isn't going to attack because I have to use a bonus action to do that, and instead I'm going to be using my bonus action to cast Healing Word to try and heal Talrun a little bit.
Okay.
So the first thing that's going to happen is the laser beam towards Navarine.
All right. Need a 16.
It will miss horribly. I rolled a 2. So,
Okay.
unless someone wants to loan me all of their inspiration points.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Take my inspiration. Here, catch.
I can give you inspiration, right? Take
Yeah.
one.
Not while you're unconscious.
Why?
Well,
What is inspiration? It's not like a thing, right?
Yeah, he inspires him by being down and bleeding. And he's kind of like, God, save me.
I believe it's 1 die 4, correct? Healing word.
Yeah.
Yes.
1 die for.
1 die 4, okay. So you'll get back 7 hit points.
Okay. So
Okay, cool. Thanks.
you regain
Yeah.
7, Jordan. You gain a level of exhaustion, and you're now just prone instead of dying.
Which is better, at least until the blades come around.
Yeah, they start
Mhm.
chopping you up again.
Yep. And then I guess my my club will try and hit him though.
Yep.
And it rolled a 20. Yay, club crit.
Okay, go for it.
All right, come on.
It sounds like such a nerdy bar. Club crit.
Yeah.
just as an FYI, minions can't crit or crit fumble. Just name guys and the players. So, but go for it. You're a player.
Okay. 85 on the crit chart, whatever that's gonna get me.
All right. So you're gonna do quadruple damage. You also do some bleeding, but he can't bleed.
Right.
You can do quadruple damage.
No problem.
Just some nasty worms fall out, maybe.
So just let me get a 4th die here. I'll roll the 4 of them. And I've seen better rolls. 8, 12, 17, 20. Now only the die is quadrupled, not the modifier, correct?
Yeah, the bonus once.
That's what I thought. So 24 points of damage.
Woo. Okay. So I don't know how a wraith looks when it's badly wounded, but if you want to try and describe it, that's how it looks.
Well, I imagine that this incident is so similar to the furniture, right? We're surrounded, we're kind of outnumbered. One of our party members just collapsed in the floor. I wasn't able to get to that party member at that time, and that's sort of what created this magic item. So I think maybe instead of its normal sort of silver blue hue, it sort of expands with this this gold light that's very similar to most of my other magic, but has this underlying like red hue of wizard fire. And
Nice.
it just starts. It slams into it, and as it does, it almost like embeds itself into the wraith. And instead of like constantly pounding it, you just sort of see it go in, and it almost vibrates with this ghostly movement inside of it, as though maybe someone somewhere else were, and they're sort of wiggling it, getting back their revenge for having been killed by it. And I think what that does is the wraith maybe he starts to fade a little bit, almost like you're watching like a bad special effect. He starts to pop in and out for a moment, and before he sort of takes a moment and then stabilizes himself. And then he's really angry at Jawdat. I mean, Tolrun.
Yes.
Yep.
He's gonna try and kill you, Jada, but I think I have to make a wisdom save first,
Yes.
which I do. So I'm gonna take some damage.
Yeah, you'll
Like
take half of it. 7, 15, 16, 8 points of damage.
Okay. So he howls with fury. I gotta see. He has a possible recharge. I need a 5 or a 6. See if this recharge. I got 5. So first of all, he's going to use his arms of hair again. So you all need to make strength checks.
All right. Not my
As these
forte, but
black tendrils
that's good.
stream out from him.
16.
Yeah, you need 15. 15.
Oh.
If you save, you take 3 damage. If you don't, you take 7 necrotic.
Ouch. So. All right. Got it.
Okay, and now he's going to try to kill Jada. Oh, I got a hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Jada, you're going to take 19 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And it is your turn, Grim.
All right. So. I send another I imagine sort of like every now and again, as this bolt is connecting, I just ripping across, and then I push, and this extra burst to come out and run up the length of the bolt, which this time is 9.
Okay, so it looks really on the verge of dissipation. Its form seems to be struggling to maintain.
Yeah, so this time, this sort of ball of purple edge just runs down the bolt, hits it, and he just shudders from it, and see bits of him goes coming off and vaporizes.
Now that was an automatic continuation. You still get an action, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so go ahead.
And so with my I actually what I do is I move my hands together for a moment, holding the bolt as I do so, switch them across. So now the bolt is from my left hand, and with my free hand, I'm going to send. One moment here. Actually, I'll do a second wish bolt. Why not?
Right.
Space. So yeah. So out of my other hand, I put them together for a moment, and as I pull them apart, you see this other bolt go out, hopefully to strike him.
That's a roll hit.
Yep. 12 and 17, 19.
16's what you need.
All right. Nice. A 12 for the other bolt.
So you're going to destroy it.
Oh, okay.
Still 2 ghouls left, but you can describe that.
Yeah. So my other bolt continues to rip through it, and I see it like jerk from the bolt, and I put my hands together, I pull the other one apart, and you see this other bolt come from my other hand, and a second bolt hits, and then just rips across it. You see this big burst of vapor.
Nice.
And heads up to the ceiling, and my both hands kind of like pull back as the bolts disconnect. You see this dark purple vapor sort of raising from my hands.
Okay, excellent. I skipped 2 ghouls, but I'm going to have them go now. First, they're making their wisdom saves. I need some damage from Jadat, if he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
5, 11, 13 points of damage at full, and then 6.
All right, so you can do 13 to one and 6 to the other. Clear that. They're going to attack you, since you're the only one standing. Ooh. I got 2 hits there. So you're going to take 10 points of damage and then 7 points of damage, both slashing.
Who is?
You are.
Oh, I fall over dead.
Well, not dead, but dying.
Son of a bitch.
Well, technically, the first one would hit me, drop me to 0. The second one would hit me and give me a failed save, correct?
Yeah, so you're dying with 1 failed save. You are correct.
Okay.
Balmer, it is your turn.
Yes.
And then Talrun. And the daggers stop for what it's worth.
She'll step out and begin to cast a spell, and fire will be forming around her hands.
Okay.
And I will shoot, I don't know, the ghoul that looks most down.
They're both damaged. There's 2 ghouls left. That's all. That's the only combatants you have left.
Okay, I'm gonna take the one on her right then.
Okay.
That is a 14 to hit.
You need a 13. That's a hit.
And it takes, 8 points of fire damage.
You destroy the one on your right. There's 1 ghoul left.
Cool. And then she's gonna use her bonus action to cast Healing Word on Jadad.
Okay.
And he will heal 2 hit points.
Okay, so Jadat, you are now unconscious, and you gain a level of exhaustion, and you're prone.
Your casting trait's higher than 2, isn't it? Or higher than 0, isn't it?
No.
Good job.
Okay, so Talrin, you are
Mhm.
you are prone, lying beside Jadet, who's also prone, and there is one ghoul standing over you. What would you like
Yep.
to do about
Okay,
it?
so
Also, we're both covered in a modicum of sand, and the club as it falls out of the air just narrowly misses your head. Because when I hit, everything went.
alright, so I stand up and I take chafing damage due to the sand everywhere.
It's mostly mental damage.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stand up and strike the ghoul next to me.
Okay. Yep.
And there's only the wraith and the ghoul left, right?
The wraith is destroyed.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay. Then
There's one ghoul left.
So it is.
3 all over 20.
Yep. 3 hits then. It's got 16 health.
So 15, 21, 27 points of damage.
You destroy it. So tell us what that looks like.
Okay, so I like stand up and quickly like uppercut it, like knocking it back, and it's like head falling over, like going back, like snapping, and his neck snaps. Look around.
Okay. So when
Like
it falls
there's
to the ground,
sand
it
over
also
us.
shape changes.
Sleeping villages and sand all over like Jura, and I'll help him up.
Okay. So there's about a half a dozen sleeping villagers at the end of the hallway. You know, at least there was in the church, at least 30 more beyond that. And you still have the secret door behind you, which you never really explored. So
How many more like adepts do we think there will be?
none.
Okay.
What happened to the wraith? Did it dissipate?
Dissipated.
Yep, we don't leave no wraiths behind.
All right. So you guys can take a short rest or figure out what you want to do from here. Look around the rest of the church, like in the secret door. Just let me know. I'm just going to hit the bastard for a second.
Okay, so Babel will go up to you and that's a bit more of a fight than I counted on.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So she looks down at the sleeping cultists. What do you suppose we should do with them? That's,
How long will they be asleep?
no, not long.
Lock them in the closet.
Yeah, or at least time up.
but there's bound to be more, right? This is just
Well,
a small...
hopefully not.
If there's much more, I'm not sure what we'll do.
No, cultist, I mean. Not
I don't think any of them will come back here without permission.
yeah, probably.
You said they're being affected, right? Perhaps the whatever it is worn off.
Perhaps.
So, this might be a stupid question, but I'm gonna assume that this is not normal. Once he kind of pokes the ghoul. Kill him more?
No, it is pretty much the antithesis of Kellenvor. He is very much against the idea of undead.
Oh, this is an undead. Oh.
Yes. What did you think they were?
I don't know. Caveman? It's hard to see without the sand flying around.
Yeah, no. These are basically the same kind of things that Jordan makes.
No, not at all.
Well,
But this must be the
I kind of look at him a little incredulous.
yeah.
So,
But this must be the other ones that he spoke about, right? The one that were when he made that beast.
These things are intelligent. Not they are not. And what I do is like puppetry. I attach magical strings, make it move. This is nothing like this.
Mhm.
Creatures like this, they are born out of evil. There is thoughts that there are other existence. One of is good, one is bad, and these things they are creatures of bad. They are made by intention of creating a race, a population of these things. But all they normally care about is killing and feeding. The Navarine, he is a ghost or wraith, a spirit of some sort. That is probably, I would say, one of most powerful undead that I have ever seen, but probably has ever been in this area, ever. We are lucky that he did not kill us all.
Well, I
Lord
agree
knows.
there, certainly. Though, I don't understand how your things are different than these things.
I just explained it to you.
Well, the intelligence bit, sure, I kind of understand
Is
that.
difference between having baby and buying puppet.
Well, I don't think so. I mean,
Which
if you,
I understand you do not think so, but I am telling you what is right.
well, no, I mean, if you, let's say you raised
Who
one
is
of
expert
these.
here?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, to tell you the truth.
Well, then please, by all means, try and create one.
Is it well? But
Well, I'm
if-
gonna.
if you brought, if let's say you brought a horse back from the dead,
Yes.
you use it as a very disgusting, smelly steed. Now, what happens to it if you die?
It falls over dead.
You mean I'm
Okay.
dead?
No, it is dead. It stops moving. Is no longer controlled like puppet.
Right.
Okay, look, guys.
You don't understand why I just stood in the middle of hallway, risking life and limb to stop most of these things from getting down to you, and now you want to question whether or not what I do is similar.
Yeah, but okay,
Well,
I'm gonna move the townspeople into the room, and while you're standing debating, don't break an arm jerking yourself off, okay? And as he starts to moving,
Which room are you moving them into?
the one that says storage furniture, and if that is not enough, you'll use of the storage clerical.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, yep, you can absolutely do that. As you're doing that, you can hear the sounds of people moving around and mumbling from the other side of the door that Jaudet closed.
Okay.
But if
You
there's
guys
some
resume
sort of
arguing. Carry on.
if there's some sort of grievance you wish to air about the fact that in one case I brought back a wolf creature, then please, by all means, I'd like to hear this.
I hold in my hands, no. You misunderstand me. I admire that sort of thing. It's quite a work of art, in fact. I was simply commenting on the similarities in let's say energies used to animate them.
Yes. No, is truth. There is if the conduit is open one way, it is also open the other way. There are a lot of priests who would never think to look other direction, and they are on both sides of this conduit. For me, I think is a bad business choice to not explore both options. But much like any sort of business, you must have a modicum of respect and purity in intentions, so that you do not go from being a spice merchant to a mushroom merchant. It's same idea, but different sides of the law.
Well, I think that's thoroughly confused me. But
Perhaps this will help. Think of undead like knife or sword. You give sword to person one, they are soldier, guard. You give sword to person 2, they're a murderer. It's not sword's fault. It's how weapon is used.
Yeah, I understand that, and again, I'm not judging the magic. I don't do that sort of thing. I admire it, as I said. My thought was, okay, your analogy of the puppeteer. You create something and you manipulate it
Yes.
as a puppeteer would. So, who was on the other end of these strings? And I gesture over my shoulder to the ghouls. And
Is likely nothing directly has string. Imagine if, like I said, one is puppet, one is having baby. These things, when they die, they are given second life, like small child again. But when they come back, they are no longer orc or human or dwarf. They are simply evil inside of body. That is why there is no coloration. Is why nails are long. I'll reach down and I'll pull one's gum or lip up in sort of a snarl. Is why they have fangs for shredding flesh. These are
I understand that. I'm simply saying that these sort of things can are either bestial or they act under orders.
yeah, under orders. Is likely down below. We will find an old crypt or old temple, perhaps of uh, Jurgle or Sirik, gods that participated in the practice of undead, and these things are simply leftovers from that had enough intelligence with the Wraith as they are smart to create a phony temple to Kellenvor to attract followers, only to drain them of their life forces. But
Well,
this is nothing more than conjecture from reading books.
Well, what you say makes some kind of sense, though it is.
It's very scary.
Though we will, yeah. I was going to say that if we agree that the one behind all this is below, then and I gesture to these little fragments of black sort of soot on the floor where the wraith exploded. Then that was just one of its lackeys.
Yeah, yes. Hopefully not lackey, more like a second in charge. But if there is another one of that down there, we will die.
Well, then maybe we should take a catch a breather here.
Perhaps what we should do is seal up door, burn temple to ground, and take everyone back to town.
Well, that's not a bad idea, but I don't think that will stop whatever's below. And if we just, as you say, slaughtered its one of its trusted servants, then running away may not be the answer.
But if we could seal it up, I mean, this is temple has only been here for some years. Whatever's below has been here much longer, so it was not disturbing until it was accessed, perhaps.
We need to see what's here. We can't just leave it.
So sort of like wincing and holding broken bones and open gashes and, like veins that have been pushed to the surface in this sort of necrotic blackness, I'll struggle to my feet.
Mm-hmm.
No. Sit your ass down in that chair. And I just to a soft chair behind him.
You can take a short rest if you like.
Yeah.
This was not at all what I had imagined. Yeah, I knew it was bad, but I was suspecting, perhaps in my small orc brain, that it was a man doing bad things. Not. This is not man doing bad things. This is
Something worse. I know.
wholly unnatural. This is as bad as what happened to Tolrune's companions.
I know. Look, sit down. Let's Let's get you patched up. I reach into my pouch and I pull out a tin of salve that I twist open and begin seeing to some of Johnette's wounds. I say, "This is going to get pretty ugly blow, I think."
I have to tell you, all of you, that perhaps what I did was not smartest thing. Standing in the hall and trying to do what we did. It took more out of me than was wise. Is like a traveling merchant buying everything in first town, not knowing what is in second.
Listen, I set a fireball off above my head, so I don't think I'm in a position to judge. Don't worry about it.
I am not Jawdat, I will be helpful downstairs. Is conduit of Joaquin? Not as much.
Well, I think we got the better end of the deal on that.
So I'll start rubbing some ointment on myself also, and resting to try and have more than 4 hit points.
Sure. So you guys can take a short rest.
Yeah.
But during this time, you can still hear the other people milling about, mumbling in the prayer room.
As Bamaro puts the last one, sleeping cultist in storage. It sounds weird.
we have sleeping cultist storage.
She turns to Jared and Grim and Troll. So there's still people in the main room. Should I go and check on them while you apply your lotion?
Do you think you can change yourself into looking like that priest?
I guess. Well, I mean the human guise of him, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, maybe just go out there, tell him. I'll give him some bullshit story. Tell him that they have some, special vision that they're having, and that they need time alone.
Yeah.
And send the people off with their god's blessing or, cuddling or whatever they have.
Uh-huh. I guess. So she concentrates for a while and transform into Nevergreen.
Nevergreen. Mm-hmm.
And she goes down the hallway and opens the door.
Okay, so as soon as you open the door, you see 34 townsfolk shambling toward you slowly, arms outstretched. They're just like shambling very, very slowly.
I hate that word shambling. That's never good.
Did you say arms outstretched?
Yes.
So kind of like a zombie or...
And he'll be the first one to give them a hard time letting them kill these people.
Like that. Like they look, like healthy people otherwise.
Okay. Well, she'll attempt to buff herself up, and she'll stand at the door, still keeping it open because I might need to run. And she will, "Children of Kalimba," and she kind of holds her hand out, seeing if they respond.
They do not. Your words have no effect whatsoever. They continue to shamble towards you.
Okay, I'm done. I'm going into the door and closing it behind, and if I can lock it.
Okay. It doesn't lock, but you can just hear like boom, boom, bumping up against it on the other side.
Okay, she'll go back to Grim. Yeah, didn't work.
Where's the endeavor?
You guys can take a short rest now if you like. So all the benefits of a short rest.
I think there's something wrong with them. They seem off.
What do you mean off?
Well, even more weird than before. They just came like she kind of mimics a B-movie zombie. Like that?
Not that I know what a B movie is. Did they seem like they were gonna attack you or anything?
I didn't stay to find out. But they didn't seem to respond to when I asked them to stop.
Huh.
So maybe, I don't know, this is kind of your territory, but maybe once the spell was broken, they got mad. I mean, insane, not angry.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't. You said they weren't trying to hurt you?
Well, they didn't reach me. I didn't stay to find out.
All right. Well, I'll go down the corridor then.
They're just outside the door, Grim. So.
Do they seem to be trying to
you
open
can
the door?
you can certainly hear them. Yeah, bumping up against the door, moaning,
Okay.
mumbling,
So-
shuffling.
I kind of reach for the door handle, but instead of actually touching it, I mutter an incomprehensible word in arcane, and you see this bar of iron kind of extend from my hands, and there's like this little claw of metal at one end and one at the other. One kind of digs into the floor, the other digs into the door, creating this sort of just bar that will prevent the door from opening inward.
It's a neat spell.
No, it's just my conjuration that I can conjure like an object of certain size and
Neat.
material. And,
Okay.
So I just conjure this bar.
Cool.
It only lasts an hour, but
Okay.
keep them off our back for a while. So I go back
Okay.
up to the others. I say to Belmira, that'll give us a little time anyway.
Okay.
Now what do we do?
So the four of you are in the priest room, the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. So as I said, there's a bed, a closet, this fake wardrobe which leads to the
Yeah.
stairs. Beside the bed is a nightstand with drawers, and there is a desk and
Okay.
a chair, like a
I'm
regular desk.
gonna check the room for any potion-like flasks. Stuff
All
like
right, so you're gonna like search all the drawers, rummage
Yeah.
through the closet, that sort of thing.
Look, I was gonna do
And if he happens to have a lot of sovereigns laying around or crowns, I will not be too fancy about it. I'll just take that too.
Okay, so you find in some of the drawers of the dresser, you find a few items. You find a glass sphere that's about 6 inches across. It seems like solid glass. You see a scroll, which is rolled up and bound with a ribbon, and you see a lockbox. Those are all the interesting items you find anyway.
Okay, I'll get the glass sphere and the scroll and hand them to Grim, and I'll examine the lockbox.
All right, so it is a lockbox that's about 6 inches by 10 inches by a couple inches deep. Oh, froze.
We don't carry any
Oh,
shields
sorry.
or anything like that, do we?
What's that?
We don't have it. None of us are carrying any shields or similar, right?
No. A shield? What do you need a shield for?
Well, the last time she attempted to open the lockbox, she got hit by a poisonous dart. So
Well, I could make one, but then I'd lose my bar at the end of the call.
it's okay. I'll examine it carefully. Okay, I'll try to tinker with the lock, see if it's jury rigged to shoot any poisonous darts or anything like
All right,
that.
so you can make me investigation check, perception check, perhaps. Looking for traps. What's find traps in 5e? I'm not even certain.
I think it's investigation.
No, it's Thieves'
All right.
Tools.
Yeah,
Wait, what is it?
Oh, it's a thieves' tools check to find a trap.
Yeah, and disable them.
I
And
would think that would be for disarming a trap, but that's already
Well, it's probably for both. They used to have the same for both. So
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking old school sometimes.
Yeah.
Find, remove trap, you know?
right.
Different roles.
Maybe thieves' tools to like open it without activating the trap. If you think of it like that.
you know what? I'm gonna use my
Yeah,
mage
but I
hand.
mean, just imagine it was like an arrow trap on the wall. You know, looking at
Yeah.
the lockbox wouldn't spot that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's a Thieves' Tool, it's a 14. If it's a Perception, it's a 5.
Okay, so you don't think it's trapped.
Okay. Then she's gonna use her mage hand legerdemain to pick the lock from a safe distance.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, you're allowed to do that because you got the trickster thing, right? Or whatever.
Yep.
Yep, go for it.
And I have a 22 on picking lock.
Click. Yep, it unlocks.
Sweet.
And I'll use the mage hand to open the lid.
Okay, so nothing comes out, springs out to harm you or anything like that.
Nice. Then she'll go examine the content of said lockbox.
Okay, so I would like everyone to roll me a d20, and Valmera, since you opened it, you can also roll a d10. Total up those d20s. Boy.
Okay.
11. Extremely average.
That's 12.
I have a total of 17.
On the d20, I want the d10 separate.
Okay, the d20 is 11.
So 1 and 11 is 12, and another 11 is 23, plus whatever
17.
John had rolled. Nice. So you find 40 gold pieces inside, and what'd you get on your d10?
6, I think. Yeah,
You
6.
find 6 platinum pieces inside. You also find about 24 pieces of jewelry, assorted rings, necklaces,
Sweet.
little bracelets, things like that.
2 of them actually have the holy symbol of Kelemvor on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, more jewelry.
I kind of lean over to John and I say, I think we can get the vase now that I have my eye on. Maybe the curtains too.
Who has the scroll and a sphere? Who took the
Grim.
She had.
Well, she handed them to me.
Okay,
So that's good. Yep.
okay. They're both kind of heavy. The scroll and the sphere.
Okay. Well, the scroll is heavier than it should be?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it in a case or is it just a rolled piece of parchment?
It's in one of those holders, like, so it's wrapped around it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, gotcha,
It's got like the 2 metal ends. It's wrapped around.
All right. So I kind of put that in kind of slide through my belt in the meantime, and then I'll look at the sphere for a moment, kind of rotating my hand, looking at it.
Okay. It looks very detailed, or very well crafted at least, and you think it's probably magical.
Yeah. Could it be crystal?
It's thick glass.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to think on that later. So I kind of reach over my shoulder, open my pack, and kind of tuck it in between.
It's about 6 inches in diameter.
Tuck it in between my towel and my underwear.
Okay.
And I'll and then I'll take the scroll out and I'll kind of look over the case a bit, make sure there's nothing I can see that is potentially
Make a perception check.
hazardous. All right. Perception plus 4. 14.
Okay, so it looks like the end of the holder it's wrapped around comes off.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, so I'll sort of check the
So
bottom.
just so you're picturing this the same as I'm picturing it kind of like a barbell shape
Yeah.
with the scroll wrapped around the middle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So on the bottom end, I'll sort of play around with it, assuming maybe probably like screws off or something like that. So I'll just kind of play around with it a bit, see if it comes off.
Yep. So when you get it off, a pouch comes out, a small pouch.
Okay.
It just fits inside.
All right. So I'll put the pouch in my hand and I'll sort of feel it through the pouch, see what might be inside. Is it soft or a hard object or?
Feels like sand, maybe.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll put the pouch in one of my pockets of my jacket.
Do you want to look inside? I'm not saying it is.
Not yet.
Okay.
But before that, I want to open the scroll and kind of slide out a little off the.
Okay,
the
so
that's on.
you can't make out what it says, but you would recognize it as clerical magic.
Divine magic. Okay.
Divine
All right.
magic.
All right. So I kind of yelled to Jodette, like, Jodette.
I wincingly look towards him.
What's that?
I kind of eyeball him over. I'm going to say that I found a rather plain tin cup in here and have made myself a little bit of spiced tea as I'm sitting there in this perhaps the most comfortable chair in the room, just sort of sitting there, and I sort of just eyeball him over the top of my tea as I've been told I can rest, and now here he is calling my name.
Yeah, and it's actually probably a nice cup.
Yeah, but I'm still not stealing it from a temple. That's really weird. That's really weird.
So yeah, I kind of gesture with the scroll. I say, I think this is more up your alley.
Yes, be careful. If it is a Kalimvor or something else is writing, not so bad. If it is a... I just sort of look down almost like through the floor. If it is something else, could be very bad. And I'll wince and stand up and sort of half limp over there, and I'll set my cup down with a sort of audible and I'll take the scroll, take a peek at it.
Okay, so it is a spell scroll, a clerical spell scroll, and there you go. So that's what the spell is.
Huh. John looks at it in the back of his mind. He thinks, "Oh, how very convenient." Okay. He's healing magic. Actually, yeah. Can I tell from the writing and maybe some of the wording if it is, is it Kalimvor? Is it, Shantae? Is it, because that would at least give me an idea of maybe what's transpired here, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'll let
you. I'll let you make a religion check. You can make it with advantage. You just read it through. You're a cleric.
15 total. My highest roll.
Okay, so you would say that it is probably a Kalimvor, yes.
Okay. That's a little more comforting. For two reasons. One, that it's not terrible, and two, it also means that maybe this guy hasn't corrupted other, local temples and absorbed them also, which was something I was afraid of when I saw the farming. So his Scroll of Kalimvor is relatively recent dogma, so not ancient, perhaps actually. I wonder. I'll sit down on the edge of the bed. What do you think? Is it possible that this church really was built for Kalimvor, and the location was chosen to prevent whatever's below from coming up. But in the time has passed, dark whispers have come up from below, much like Navarine was doing to the locals, and it corrupted the the poor priest who was here. It's possible this is one of his scrolls that he wrote before the darkness took him. It's a type of healing, not in the normal sense, but in the restorative sense. Is very powerful.
Huh. Well, what do you mean? Does it make him like the Wraith thing?
No, exact opposite actually. Whereas the wraith it drains energy, this restores it. Is kind of fitting. It makes sense, yes. In fact, it makes a lot of sense. If the priest of Kellenvor became aware that there was such a creature below, perhaps he built this as a failsafe. If someone were to be affected by it, he could use the scroll and help them. But unfortunately, he succumbed to it first. You are right. There is much that needs to be explored below. I only wish that we could go in perhaps less drained.
Well, I mean, we could take a little extra time, but
I don't think that is wise, unfortunately.
nah, no do I.
So, if we are done searching the room, perhaps we can take a trip to a closet.
You just you stay at the back in this one if you're still in rough shape.
Yes. Okay.
Do you need some of the ointment?
No, I am okay as far as that. Most of the I can say that his actually armor is in worse shape than I am now, as far as rips and tears. But just energy is what I'm lacking now.
Okay.
So
I kind of think about it a moment. I say, here, tell you what. I untie the pouch from my belt. I say, take this.
what is this?
It's a magic bag. Some of
Oh,
those.
the one you pulled the furballs from.
Yeah. Why don't you hang on to it for a bit? If you need to, just reach into it and get something that'll help you. Just tell it to protect you, and it will. Sorry. It will take time to attune, Rob.
Yeah, all magic items, I think. Yeah, pretty sure.
It depends on the magic items. Some don't, but I'm not sure about this.
If you want to look it up, if you have the DMG, it's a bag of tricks tan. I can't remember offhand.
I'll look at a reverse.
Okay.
Okay.
Because obviously, I would know that as a wizard, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I will redact that if.
I totally agree. It's totally fine with that.
Yeah.
So okay. So you guys, do you want to head down these scary stairs? Or?
Yeah, into the rabbit hole now.
Yeah. I look at Torun and figuring that it'll be probably him or I first. So I kind of shrug and say, "Well, I'll go first. I'll go first if you want."
Yeah, it's only going to be room for wide enough for one at a time. So just give me the marching order.
Right.
Yeah, so does anyone have a light source?
I can create one.
Very dark down there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, I'll
So, unless Grim insists, I'll go first.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll touch a portion of Tolrune, perhaps one of your fist traps or something, and illuminate it.
Okay, so tall room, then grim, then
I guess Bomero, and then Jada at the
okay. All right, so the this descends, as I said, it's hard packed dirt. Stairs you're going down and walls. It descends fairly sharply, and then it bends to the south, and your light lights up a wall sconce in the east wall with a torch in it, an unlit torch in it. And then the hallway continues south. So it's like an upside down L shape there.
I'm gonna grab the unlit torch.
Okay.
And I will I'll light it. I'll use I'll just kind of put my hand sort of around it and do just like a direct sort of touch firebolt, just ignite it.
As you guys start moving down the hallway, it gets noticeably colder with every step, like about a degree colder with every single step you take. And then it's going to end in a room on the well, you actually see a doorway. It ends in a doorway on the south side. So it's a hallway goes south for about 30 feet, and then there is a doorway, no door, that opens up to a larger room.
Okay.
Also, along the wall, along both sides of the wall, you can see the occasional sconce. Each of them is holding an unlit torch.
Now, are these? I would assume that the craftsmanship of the sconces would look antiquated versus what we would see around town and stuff, right? Like this is an older area, or are these recently bought sconces that have been used down here?
It's older.
Okay, maybe not
But
ancient.
not ancient. But
Right.
not ancient. Not ancient.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what does the door look like? Does it match the kind of muddy?
There's no door, just a doorway.
Oh, okay. I get you now. So, assuming I still have that continuous source of lights behind me.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
you've
go
got a
forward.
lit torch there too, and you can light other torches if you want. That are
Yeah.
just sconces.
You have plenty of light.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead.
All right. So this opens up into a fairly large room, about 30 feet across and about 70 feet deep. There are two small piles of bodies near you, corpses. One along the north wall, one along the south. And then there are 4 stone coffins, equally spaced out throughout the room along the south and north wall. Their lids are missing, and they're each is filled almost to the brim with a greenish liquid. There is also I'm going to just give you a finish. And then there is also a black table at the end of the room with a crystal on it that's about 1.5 feet tall, almond-shaped but on its side, or like an eye shape but on its side. And inside this crystal you can see a sort of dark swirling smoke. I'm going to show you a picture, and that will help to solidify what you're seeing. So let me just zoom in here. Okay, so there's a pile of bodies here and here, about 4 or 5 bodies here and here, just tossed on top of one another, naked.
Okay.
Then there's 8 stone coffins, each filled with a greenish liquid, and down here is a black table with this crystal on it with a dark, cloudy smoke inside. And you guys are by this doorway.
Yeah.
These are
So
sconces.
how fresh are the bodies and how new or old do the coffins look?
All right, so are you can dig through the coffins if you want, or the bodies first, rather. You're gonna.
Well, I'll just look at the one that's on the top of the pile.
All right. Recently, it's recent.
Okay. And I.
It's also cold
Okay,
enough
I'm
down
gonna-
there that you can all see your breath.
Okay. So
Alright.
I'm gonna walk to that first coffin on the far left, but I'm gonna stay 10 feet away from it, and I'll take a closer look just to what it's made of, or if the goop
It's a
moves
stone
at all.
coffin. Looks like a stone coffin missing its lid. There is a greenish liquid inside that's opaque, and you think maybe something inside the liquid, but you're gonna have to go closer or maybe even move the liquid. It's not terribly see-through.
I think there might be something inside one of this coffin, but I'm not going closer to find out.
Yeah, I say that. Yeah, don't put anything in there. This looks. This is not a good place.
So, and I sit back, essentially between the two corpse piles. So I look around. What is this place?
It looks like some sort of dark necromancy. I don't know much about it myself, but I know based on what we've seen so far, and this place here, there's definitely some dark necromancy at work.
So how do we? Do we need to stop it, or?
I looked at Jawdat and I raised my eyebrows like, yeah, it's better that we stop. Better that we stop it.
So what do we do? Do we take the crystal? Do we knock over these coffins? Do we destroy the goop?
Look! I don't know. I don't even know what's going on here yet.
Looking at the way that this whole place is laid out, Rob, is it all right? Obviously, this part of it is older than the top temple from the looks of things.
Not really.
So does it look? Is it beginning to look more like maybe they repurposed an old temple
Yes.
and didn't necessarily know that this was here? So
Or maybe they did know.
looking, is there any sort of relief carving or anything on any of the coffins or the walls to indicate maybe what religion they were buried in, under, with? Words.
Perception check, please.
14.
Okay, so I'm going to say near you, faintly on some of the sides of the coffins, you can see the symbol of Kelimvor. But the far end is kind of shadowy and dark. Your light doesn't extend that far yet. You'd have to go closer if you want to make out details, but you can't see any markings from here. Just this crystal on this stand and these 8 coffins and these piles above.
The piles of corpses, if you look at them, does it seem like they have been stabbed or poisoned or?
You want to look through them?
No, I mean just the ones that are visible on the top.
Well,
To
you
see if
can look
there's
at
any-
2 and 1 on the top of each, and no, you see no signs of wounds.
I'm gonna kind of skulk my way up through the middle of the sarcophagi there and get up to the crystal. I want to get a better look at it.
All right, when you get about halfway across the room, you need to
Mhm.
make me a wisdom save.
Okay. Wisdom. I'm so sorry. 11.
Okay, so that effect that happened to Balmera upstairs,
Yeah.
you feel that now.
Okay.
You think that what Navarine did is fine, and you don't see anything wrong with what's going on.
Okay.
You can roleplay this as you see fit.
Yeah,
So I kind of stop and I look at it and I kind of look around to the other things and I just kind of stand there with my arm kind of folded around me and just rubbing my lips, sort of thinking. That doesn't make
What-
sense.
What are you supposed
Maybe
to?
you figured out what to do.
No. What Navarine was saying, it doesn't make sense.
Not to fear death.
Well, no. I feel like he maybe knew something we didn't know. Looking at all this now, it sort of brings it home to me. Maybe he knew something that we missed.
Yeah, well, obviously he's on the other side of death. So yeah.
Yeah, but is he though?
What?
I think. And she looks at Jardat.
What if he's not? What if he's still here in this place? Can't you feel him?
Is he that? Is that possible? Is he that powerful?
Well, he must be.
I kind of look around. Well, what do we do to safeguard against him?
Safeguard? No. I think you've misinterpreted his intentions here. I think I'm seeing now that he clearly intended the best for this place and the people here.
Yeah, I mean, if the best for the people is turning them into the baby undead.
I'm gonna start moving towards the orb.
All right, so make me a wisdom save, please.
I turn to Belmira. I say, "Look, Belmira, the people here, they needed that sort of control on them. They'd strayed, apparently."
15.
Guess.
What?
I guess it did it. Yeah.
Did you say 15 death?
No. Wisdom save 15.
It's safe.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So I sent you a message there, Steve.
Yeah, they clearly need someone to look after them and
Well,
show them the way.
yeah, but don't
Whatever that
you
way
think
is.
it shouldn't have been in this way?
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, is it for really for us to say? I mean, yeah.
You were just saying this was vile necromancy.
Well, doesn't he do necromancy? And I cock my head towards Jodet. I mean, we're not banishing him to the some island, are we?
but hang on.
But I also draw the line at animals.
Yeah, Jada doesn't do necromancy.
Well, most of us draw the line at animals, but that's a different issue.
Do you?
Look.
And she looks at Jada.
Yeah, not recently. I'm gonna keep moving towards the orb. I want to examine the two, I guess the 4 coffins I couldn't see as well, but
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
go up. I'm gonna follow Jada up. Jada.
no,
Alright.
stay away. Stay away.
Okay, so you'll stay back at the corpses then.
In fact,
Okay.
all of you just back up. Get towards the door.
No, wait,
Why?
what are you doing? No, that's not yours. You can't
I'm
mess.
not going to mess with it, but it is manipulating us.
Oh, come on. Just get away from there.
Yes, I will. But if you're right, we need to know what he was trying to do so that we can continue his message and his works. And we cannot know this without seeing what drove him. Now please, friends, step back and let another man of religion take a look at this. Perhaps we can spread his message.
You need to make a deception roll, and I'll make an
Jordan, are
insight
you
roll.
feeling okay?
My insight is 13.
My deception is 13.
So basically, we both lock eyes and all our eyes sort of narrow.
You do that Curb Your Enthusiasm fucking stare.
As well as just sort of staring at each other to see who's doing what.
And I'm just like, yeah, Jordan, are you feeling okay?
Yes.
Neverine was the guy who turned into a wraith and attacked us.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not being possessed or anything, right? And she mentally readies herself to cast a firebolt.
I turned to Talrun. I said, "Well, no, we're assuming that was a wraith. Jordan didn't know, and Neverine. It could have been part of a greater plan that we don't know about. We shouldn't jump to conclusions, you see."
Well, I'm sure it's part of a greater plan that we don't know about, Grim, but... Why is that suddenly a concern?
I'm just saying we shouldn't take for granted that we know what he was up to. He could have had something wonderful in mind.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like your definition of wonderful and my definition of wonderful. We kind of have been debating this before. And maybe Navarine's definition of wonderful is feasting on the souls of humanity.
Oh, well, I think that's a bit extreme. But look, either way, I don't think it's for us to judge, is it?
Well, he tried to kill us.
Yeah, I'm not really judging him.
Well, to be fair, we did violate some of the rules of the temple.
That's true.
And
Your idea.
I take full responsibility for my idea, and to be perfectly honest, I'm beginning to regret it. Neverine clearly had something. He was onto something, and I think we should have listened better. Maybe we would have heard him before we had to kill him.
Well, he did make a powerful point about death up in his sermon.
I pointed Belmont exactly. He made a point, and that's all he was trying to do. Was make a point. And we all come in, judging him, deciding he shouldn't be doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, I really think you need to step away from that crystal. That was put there by Navreen, and he had a purpose. You didn't hear him like we did.
I don't know. It looks kind of old.
Look, you two didn't hear him like we did. I was wrong. I was wrong about him.
Perhaps, but maybe we should look at it. I kind of start, almost like my skin's crawling a little bit. Perhaps we should look at it closer. Try to understand it.
I look at Grim as something about what he just said just doesn't gel with, doesn't fit with what he normally presents.
I mean,
How agitated is Grim starting to look, Alex?
Well, he has kind of a I guess the best word would be a compassionate desperation. He knows you that the three of you don't quite understand yet, but he's trying to convince you.
Right, but you haven't like reached for your wand or.
No.
Okay.
But he is clearly concerned about you going close to the crystal. So he's talking to you more like someone who is, like suicidal and moving close to the edge of the building.
Right.
They're like, no, just come back a little bit.
Look, we need to understand this. I must. I have to.
If I may, Grim, you know Jadad, and you trust Jadad, right? He saved you.
Of course I trust Jadad, but
I mean, out where we attacked the orc raiding party, Jadad save you when you were charged by that big orc.
Look, it's not about trust.
No,
It's
my point is that we all have our concerns and interests and personality traits, and sometimes we err and sometimes we don't. So
look.
Jardat, no, Grim. Jardat, he kind of knows what he's doing, so I'm sure he won't disturb any religious symbol of significance for the cult of Kalimor, right? So we can.
We don't know what it is. We don't know
No,
what.
but I mean, if we did make a mistake, destroying.
Haven't I stood beside you? Haven't I had your back?
Yes.
Haven't I gone in and taken care of you? Then why can't you trust me?
I trust you, but you should also trust Jardat, and he's just gonna examine it.
But he hasn't heard the things we have. I
What,
saw the look in your
what
face.
do you mean? What if
Back in the temple. I saw the look in your face. You understood him. And I kind of put my hand on her shoulder. It's like, look, we're together in this.
She kind of scratches her stubbles. Yeah, but
I put my second hand on her shoulder. I say, look. And I put my face, into her into her personal space. I say, we have to convince them. They didn't hear what we heard. It's important that they know before all of.
I was looking like confusion at this like 7-foot man leaning into this like door.
Before all of Neverine's plans are ruined. You can't let that happen. You heard him.
I think we all need to step out of this place.
I turn towards Telrune. I agree. We need to step out of here. That's a good idea.
isn't this kind of like
Alright.
that thing that Jardat spoke about, that there were many gods and they each had like a place in the world, and they kind of took care of something in the world. They each had that kind of like area of expertise or something like that. But they are related, right, Jardat? Somewhat?
Who? Yes.
The gods?
Not all of them directly is by blood. Some of them are strangers, but
Yeah,
yes,
but
connected.
like they are all caretakers of the world, right?
No, some of them are simply here to destroy the world.
What? Why would they do that?
Because what you don't understand is that there are some things in this world that are so old and so evil that there are no longer words to describe them. They sit, they coalesce, they gel into ornamentation that exists in the world through foul means. Sometimes we see this in flesh and bone, such as things upstairs, and sometimes we see it coalesce in religious icons like this orb. There are always driving forces behind it, and I would grab the orb, that are seeking to simply destroy and corrupt everything.
But and she takes Grim's arm and pulls
sometimes these items.
pulls him around so he's facing her.
Yeah.
Sometimes these
He
items.
looks down where you're touching him, kind of surprised.
But Grim, I mean, yes, he did have a point, and I mean, you never met him, but before you, we had another traveling companion, and she looks at him with a sad look in her eyes. He unfortunately died. So I wish with all my heart that we could reach beyond and contact him, and I admit I kind of hoped that we would find someone here that could do that, and I think
I kind of grab her. I say, maybe Neverine can.
She kind of looks at him, crinkling her shirt.
Navarine could bring what was his name?
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Could bring him back.
But yeah, that was what I was hoping.
So
but
you with me? You with me, right?
Okay. I'm gonna have to insist that we all step out of here.
She puts her hand kind of like almost a dwarven salute or gesture of hello, kind of like this.
Yeah.
And she kind of gives him a firm squeeze. Yes, Graham, I'm with you. But I think we should let. I mean, we're also with Jada, right?
Well, sure. It's just he's confusing me now.
All right, so
I think
I
confused.
have reached over and grabbed the orb off of its stand at this point.
Yep. Okay.
And I turn, and there's this sort of green-blue light that's emanating up from the orb and sort of underlighting my face. No. What you all fail to understand, Belmare Ironheart, is that if you wanted to talk to someone like Silas, all you ever had to do was ask someone like me. Ooh. These petty constraints of life and death? Is that what you've come to think in terms of? I could show you so much more.
She looked at him.
Is that your wish? Do you want him back?
But you
As a plaything, perhaps?
what? No. Why?
Or did you think that even if you, in your selfish, self-centered, arrogant ways, were to cross the great chasm of death and bring him back, that somehow he would actually love you? I've never heard anything so pathetic.
She kind of looks annoyed at him. She pushes Grim to the side. Yeah. You probably don't remember this, but you kind of told me when we got back that we will talk about this. So,
Let's talk about it now, then.
okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna start walking towards them, sort of almost rolling the orb from hand to hand.
Okay.
Good.
So as he gets closer to you guys, Balmera and Torin, you'll have to make me wisdom saves, please. DC is 15.
1.
Okay, dwarves are notorious stupid. Stupid. Stubborn.
Dwarves are notoriously stupid. Well,
Well, Rhaegar was, but you know.
When
No,
the horse
Rhaegar
is
was a-
stupid, do we have advantage?
Yeah. I'm really stupid. Can I get a I don't know no better.
Okay, what I meant was that I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yep.
Okay, I have a 16.
Okay, so you only feel a flicker of the same effect you felt before. Tarun, everything that Grim was just selling, you think he had a pretty good point.
Hmm. Look, is that the only change? I just think he's.
Yeah, you
I'm just more
like
persuaded
you're
or something.
you're on Navarine's
Okay.
side. You kind of agree with his.
Okay. Well, I think we're done here.
no. We've just started.
Yeah, I don't think
I mean,
we should do
done.
anything
Yeah.
down here, Jada. So maybe you should just relax a little bit.
Relax. This
Yeah.
is the most relaxed I've ever been.
Okay, Jada. Remember back in the the
Do
sea
you
of
remember,
dread.
Belmer, what it felt to lie next to him? What it felt like when his heart was still beating?
Okay,
Do you remember how pathetic you were trying to get to him?
I know this
But you
might
weren't
be.
inside the room.
Yeah,
Who are you? You had ran.
they're drunk and high out of the skulls.
Hmm.
This isn't about sex, Jadad.
What if you had still been there? What if you hadn't left the room, Belmer? Would
She
Silas still be alive?
She goes up to him and she kind of points him in the chest with a finger, kind of pointing. This isn't about sex, anything like that.
No.
It's about loyalty.
It's
This is
about your
about
pure
family.
patheticness that the only time you're willing to admit your feelings for someone is after they're too long dead and warm food to be able to do anything about it. And yet you're going to sit there and run and cry to everybody, looking for a way to try and make it up, and you can't even face your own family. That's what it's about.
Well, can you face your family? Why are you here, Jadad? Why are you here, not in the Sea of Sand?
I can go home anytime I want. Remember, my family actually loves me.
Well, I can go home anytime I want to. But as with you, I'm sure there's consequences about this. And this isn't about this. This is about, yes, I want him to come back because I actually liked him. Not because of the sex or the drugs or the drinking. Or despite the fact that he did kind of murder that mermaid. But there was something in him.
So what?
Okay.
You
So
think
I'm
he comes back that maybe what? He'll care for you?
No, Jadad. Then he'll be back.
He'd still be here if it weren't for your incompetence.
Well, he might be. But if you remember. Rob, I'm gonna use my mage hand to steal the orb from his hand.
I don't know that you can use a mage hand as an attack like that.
No,
Like
I could use it as a sleight of hand motion.
Yeah, but I don't. I
Yeah.
think you're limited to 5 pounds, and I think between my grip and the weight of it, it might exceed
Yeah,
it. But go for it.
I don't think you can forcefully take it from someone.
I think you could pickpocket with as a
Yeah, sleight of hand.
Like
yeah,
yeah,
you
like
could do a
if it was
pickpocket.
But I'm
Yeah.
thinking if Jadad is doing this, kind of like juggling,
Sure.
then she can kind of like snap it out of there.
Okay, so the mage hand appears on it, and there's a pull on it. You still have it in your hands, Jadad.
All right, and I'll extend my
She
hand.
she wants to try to catch it in air if he's still doing that.
Well, right now I'm just sort of holding it. I juggled it while I was walking up to you guys. But when I feel a tug, I'll even lean down towards you and sort of extend it towards your face. Is this what you want? Is this going to make you better somehow? Or is this like your magic, just something else that you'll never be able to control? And
She moves closer to him. I'm still not touching the orb. I'm still using mage hand. And she will look him in his face and say, yes, this is what you want. And she will sneak attack his arm with her hidden knife.
all right, and then Rob, I'm gonna do what I said.
Yeah, so I'll let you describe that as soon as Belmar does it.
Yep.
Roll.
She's gonna cut him in the wrists. Hopefully that pain will make him release the orb.
I think you guys were kind of both looking at each other, so I'm not going to give you like automatic surprise. I'm going to have you roll initiative. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but I just want to be sure she's not gonna stab him in the kidney or anything like that.
Right. You're not trying to kill me.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
should me and Alex roll initiative?
Yeah, but I'm going to have you guys go after them.
Okay,
however
so
it
it's like
turns out.
they're both in the surprise round, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I have a 15.
I go on a 17, but I will delay my action. So
Okay.
that you can act first.
So you stab him in the arm?
No, cut him across the wrist, like with a quick flick of the knife, kind of like just to make the pain, kind of the sharpness of the pain, make him release the orb. Hopefully.
Okay, so roll a d4. Oh yeah, I suppose you have to roll to hit. Just because you got initiative, you didn't necessarily hit.
Well, that's part of the rogue's way. Okay, 20.
You hit.
Yeah.
You hit. Yeah.
And
Okay.
D4 is a 3.
Okay, so you're going to take 3 points. You have a strength modifier to that?
Be Dex modifier.
Dex modifier.
If he's using it as a melee weapon, I think he gets the option.
Right, but I would imagine Belmera's dex is higher than her strength.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying maybe she doesn't want to do that much damage.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
So
Okay.
I'm giving her the option.
Okay, so her strength modifier is +2, so a 5.
Okay, so you can take 5 points of damage. And you want to kind of go with this then, Jada? You want to like let her take it?
So as the knife sort of rolls across my wrist, I'm going to jerk my hand backwards so that I'll be releasing the orb and impacting her dagger with it at the same time.
Okay.
And then as I do, I'm going to go ahead and channel a divine bolt through the orb while it's leaving my hand. So
Okay. So you don't even get a roll. So this is what happens. As soon as you do that, the orb shatters, and this black smoke inside explodes outwards with tremendous force. Everybody make a dex save.
Dex, that's where I'm not a Viking.
Yeah, 28.
Oh, I rolled. Hold on. So if you saved, you're going to take half this damage.
16.
12, 14, 16, 23 points of necrotic damage if you didn't save, and 11 if you did.
What's the
Okay.
DC?
The DC is 15.
I'm saying, is it more than 5?
Probably.
15. So it's 11 or 23 and points of necrotic damage, and you're all knocked prone.
Okay.
The crystal shatters, and the smoke just... From each of the 4 coffins, you hear a brief sound like whoa, kind of under the water. That sort of bubbly version of that.
Okay, so the orb is destroyed.
Anybody who was under the effects of agreeing with Navarine no longer is, but you're completely aware of what just happened to you.
Yeah. So I kind of blink my eyes and let my brain sort of wrap around everything that just happened.
Pick yourself up off the mud floor.
Yeah. Are we all okay now? I am. So I'm
I
assuming
think
that you
so.
are.
Yes, my wrist hurts.
Vera will get up. So you're yourself now?
Well, yeah.
So no
Alright.
more servant of death.
No. More a fan of it than anything else.
She doesn't look completely relieved from hearing that. Okay. Jadad?
Yeah. Yes. Well, yes. What? What? Yes.
Are you yourself? Navarine is not correct? Yes?
No. Navarine was never correct.
Okay, let's get out of here then.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We can leave.
Do you want to do anything with the corpses or the coffins before you leave?
Balmera is going to assume that Grimwood cast his signature fireball as we leave the...
Yeah. I was just going to suggest burning the place down. So.
With whatever it was gone, there's no sense in burning the building down.
Well, this is mud, right? Well, stone.
Yeah. But this burial chamber was defiled. Perhaps the lady knows someone who can get in contact with the Church of Kelmvor, and they can send somebody else to sanctify this area.
Well, that's fine. I'm still gonna burn everything down here at least.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's stone. I'm not sure everything burns, but
Maybe not, but
if it makes you feel better.
yeah, I think it would actually.
As they walk to leave, Belmera will get out of one of her bandages and kind of hand it to Jardat. I'm sorry about the cut.
I am sorry for what I said, but I needed you to help me.
That's okay. I knew it wasn't you.
Or was it?
So I went to
Buried resentment.
they sort of get up past me on the stairs, and what I'll do is
I just want everyone to make a perception roll then as they leave the room.
sure.
24.
Actually, yeah, mine's like
19.
Yeah, 24 as well.
Okay, so in this southern pile of corpses, you notice that one of the bodies, the face looks exactly like Navarine.
Huh.
Well, that's what happened to the real Navarine.
Oh well.
And then it's in the staircase.
Okay. It gets warmer as you climb. This is like definitely a cold room.
Well, as soon as I'm far enough up the corridor and out of the room, and I deem it would be safe to do so, I kind of hunch down on the stairs, and I go to take out my wand, realize I don't need to because no one's watching, and I kind of flip my hand toward the room, and you see this kind of little ball of fire go spiraling up into the room. And even as it leaves my hand, I sort of stand up and I turn and I start heading up the stairs. And so behind me, there's this fireball erupts into the room, torching the corpses, boiling whatever kind of nasty fluid was in those coffins, and just purifying the whole thing.
Lighting up the stairway, and his long coat kind of flickers in the heat.
Exactly. And he's not looking at it. He's walking
That's right.
away and slowly,
That's right.
not looking at the explosion.
Exactly. Why do you think I got the long coat and the spell fireball? That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you exit back into the priest room, the faint smell of burning flesh, you can smell that.
Okay, but now it's just gonna check in the cultist storage room to check if they have woken up.
From the sleep spell?
Yeah.
What's the duration on that? Isn't it until they're awoken? Or they take damage?
Yeah.
So they're still sleeping then. They haven't been awoken and they haven't taken damage.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm kind of hoping that this will end the grip of whatever it was on the town. I look at Jod and I say, you seem to have maybe a better idea of what that was that we were dealing with.
I think perhaps it was a leftover reliquary type of object from a much darker religion that they purposefully came in to corrupt a temple of Killam for. There's not much more slapping face than treating undead out of the church of the god who is against undead.
I can see that. Well, hopefully with that that relic destroyed, this will begin to return to normal around here, or if things ever were.
An ancient relic that ended up possessing an entire town. Well, it's good to know it doesn't just happen to places I visit.
But you also visited here, so still.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
I mean places I'm from.
Little did you know you were adopted from here by your parents.
I highly doubt that. Now, come on, I'm eager to get back to Crossmeet.
All right, well let's find the boy then, because I mean that's why we're here after all.
Okay, when you return to the prayer room, all the people are milling about, but they're speaking kind of normally. They're confused and they seem sleepy, but they don't seem, the weird, drugged way you saw them the last time. When they see you, several approach you and they begin to ask you questions about what happened.
Mm. Yeah, I kind of lean into Jawdad, and I kind of gesture toward the podium, and say, and why don't you let him know what happened?
All right, so I'll take my wrist cut, broken ribbed, armor ripped, level of exhaustion, beat the hell back. Self.
Wine.
Right, up to the podium, and I'll get up there and I'll lean on it, very heavy, like almost like an old man might, and I'm not gonna call anyone to quiet. I'm just gonna sort of let them stop murmuring out of desire to know what's going on.
Yep. Okay.
Although what I will do, just to kind of enhance the effect of whatever he's saying, is I kind of gesture in front of him. And you see this kind of
go easy. They're already freaked out.
No, actually, you just see this little pillar of light sort of appear around him like a spotlight, just lighting him up.
Okay.
And and you hear that this little hum of music behind.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, good people of Cerna and other places surrounding. You look weary and tired, confused, distraught, and I am afraid that any answers that we can provide for you on this day, while they may not tax you physically, will tax you mentally and perhaps spiritually. But I want you to know that you have made it this far, physically, mentally, spiritually, and you're not broken. So that speaks a great testament to the strength of the people of a town like Cerner. The wars, the king, they can take your guards, your husbands, your brothers, your sons, and evil and corrupt forces, momentarily, they can take away your will, but they cannot take from you the fact that you are still a united people. And this has never been clearer than you standing now in this room. A great evil set forth in this area, selecting Cerner. I cannot say why. Perhaps it saw strong wills and strong people. Perhaps it saw a glimmer of fear and doubt when the guards, the troops, they left. And it left you wondering and needing answers. Perhaps it saw an opening when the other temple was closed. And its depravity and lawlessness, its corruption and vileness, it moved in and it set to a goal. Below this temple, these hallowed halls of Kellanvor, the High Lord of Death and his solemn choir, is a small chamber containing 8 coffins. I believe that these 8 individuals buried there were probably a lineage of priests of Kellanvor, individuals of importance, and most of them, I believe, came from your own stock. Those stone coffins that have stood the test of the depravity and evil that has happened here are symbolic of your people. As corrupted as they may have been, they withstood it. They still do what they must do. And with the destruction of the evil, they still stand, much like yourselves. I cannot tell you exactly what it was, only that it was evil and malevolent. That had you been lesser people, it would have completely twisted you to its ways. You perhaps would have turned completely from the light and become beacons of evil, but you didn't. Instead, you sought solace here within these hallowed halls and looking for answers to questions that perhaps you'll still be asking yourself. But for now, what I can say is that the evil that was dwelling here is gone. Only the goodness of the people of Cerner and the will of Kellanvor remain in this place. It comes a time now you must ask yourself if you wish to stay here. There is work to be done, and although corrupted, the basic tenets of what you are taught, to not fear death, to understand that eventually it comes for us all, rich and poor alike, weak and strong, man and woman, dwarf and orc. But there is a vacancy now. The priest that once ran this temple, whether his name was Navarine or not, he is dead. Perhaps amongst you there's someone who wishes to step up and take the mantle to set this body, this group of people that have been gathered here for ulterior means, but gathered nonetheless. Perhaps there is someone amongst you who wishes to set them on a course that will help Cerner, that will better your people. But know this, you've withstood the test. The evil is gone, and not by our hands, but by the might of will that was displayed here. You're strong people.
So the crowd has been like enraptured the whole time, hanging on your words. Some start to smile, some start to cry, and then one woman kind of steps forward. You recognize her as Lindiga, a female dwarf you spoke to some hours ago down in the cafeteria.
Right one.
She,
I like
she
fruit
kind of
loops.
she puts up her arm tentatively and she says, "Does this mean we can go home now?"
Yes. Yes.
So she kind of smiles and cries at the same time, and then the people start cheering, and they sort of start gathering around you, patting you all on the back, thanking you. Amongst the things, all the gratitude they give, you hear some like sad statements though about how they felt helpless. Part of them seemed to know what they were doing was wrong, but they didn't care. Some felt violated, and extreme gratitude to you all for saving them from this fate. And by and large, they start to filter out. As they start to filter away, Semel comes to you, and he shakes your hand. If you let him, and he says, I've got to get back and see my mother, but thank you so much for what you've done here.
Simmel,
You're welcome.
sit down here next to me.
All right, so he does. He's about 16-year-old male, human.
Your father, he's a good man. When he came through Crossmeet, he asked us, he said, please, if you are ever in Sarna, check on my son. This was very important to him, you and your mother both. He spoke highly of you. He said that you were the man of the house. And I believe him. That you were to take care of your mother to the best of your ability. And he had no doubt that if anything were to come up that even he could handle, that you'd be able to handle it in his stead. I sort of clasp him on the shoulder. Simmel, when the people here, the malevolence here, when it took hold of you, during that time, your mother passed away.
He hangs his head. He's fighting back tears, clearly overwhelmed with recent events.
But know this. You did everything that anyone, including any of us, could have and would have done.
He takes a moment to gather his feelings. He wipes his tears. He looks up to you. He says, thank you. And what you did here today was fantastic. It was... I want to join your group. I have no family left. Let me do what you do.
I kind of lean into Jada so that only he can hear. I say, well, you could use someone to clean the barn every now and again.
Simmel, I'm going to be very bold in my next couple of statements. And I am making quite a few assumptions. And if I am wrong, then my companions will correct me. But let me present you with a few options. You may travel back to Crossmeet with us. And if you wish, you may go study at the Temple of Joaquin. That is who I'm a priest of. It's a lot of reading, a lot of writing, it's a lot of studying, scrubbing floors and pots and pans. But eventually, it will make something of you. Secondly, you may travel back to Crossmeet. We will put you on a boat. And assuming that everything is still what it should be, due to recent events, I'll send you down to the Yellow Sea. And there you can stay with my family. Yeah.
I want to help the people of Cerner. Can't you teach me to fight like you can?
Thirdly, with Tolrun's permission, perhaps he could speak to someone in his order, and we could send you to learn to fight as he does. There is much more training that goes into it than simply fighting. But Young children with eagerness are like a freshly forged blade. That cutting edge must be tempered and honed for fear of it breaking. One of these things will temper and hone you. It is your choice.
Well, while he say that, Bernard will look at Grim, trying to catch his eye and use Thieves' Chant with her fingers to kind of. Does he not remember the insanity of his order?
I just kind of shrug. I lean in. Well, there's another option. Have you thought about learning the arcane arts?
No, I think I want to fight. I've got to be able to defend myself and my people.
How old are you, Simmel?
16 and a half.
Hey, listen. One sword will cut many throats, but one good placed ball of fire will take out quite a bit more. You could do worse than learning the arcane arts.
Well, what you do is impressive, but I don't like books very much.
Look, there's a guy back in Crossmeet. He's the captain of the guards, and
That was my next thought.
He certainly could use more men. So if you want to learn to fight and help the people, maybe that's the way to go.
We could ask him on your behalf.
Thanks. I think I should get home and get changed and get ready to move. Are you coming back to Cerner?
From here? Yes.
I'll go with you then.
Good. Go get your things.
Well, he's got nothing here.
All right. So you're ready to go then. All right.
Yes.
Go out and see the horses. Make sure they are hitched properly. Set them on the path. We'll be with you shortly.
Okay. So he leaves to do that. And again, there's still a few people maybe filing out the front door. You've pretty much got the place to yourself at the moment.
Well, this is a big place.
Anything you guys want to do while you're still here?
Yes, we want to put our mark on the place,
That's
property. Property of us.
Aside that,
I don't really have anything.
No.
So I'm gonna take 10 minutes, and I'll let you guys know that I need a few moments. And I'm gonna go find like one of the I don't know, like holy symbols of Kelvor that maybe sat on the podium, during an actual service.
sure. Yeah.
And
No problem. In the storage room, sure.
yeah, I'm gonna pull it back out and dust it off and go set it back in its place. Like maybe when you look at the podium, there's
Nice.
a ring where it used to sit.
Nice.
And, I'll set it back in there, and then I'm gonna take 10 minutes and sort of pray to Joaquin over it, but sort of like if you could do me a favor while you're up there, just let Kelvin know what's going on. I'm sure he saw it, but nonetheless,
Basically, it's just have him watch the house for someone,
right? Yeah, if you could basically, yeah, if it's possible that. It is beneficial to the coffers for you to keep eye on this temple and these people until Kelmvor is reestablished.
Okay. So while you're not 100% certain, you get a strong feeling that he heard your request.
So with that, I will go out and close the doors behind me and meet my companions at the horses.
Before we go, while Jada is doing that, Bama will just take on the sleeping guys and girls and wake them up to make sure that they don't wake up in empty temple.
Right.
In a closet.
Yeah.
Maybe we woke them up earlier since the spell only lasts like a minute or something.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fine.
unless they just kept on sleeping because
They're like, no, we're really comfortable and tired.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've been out working in that garden for 20
So-
years.
Furniture and was
That's
just
for
beds.
so long.
On our way out, I am going to go ahead and stop by the chicken coop and grab
Yes.
2 cages and 4 chickens, 3 females
Sure.
and 1 male. Shove them into
Okay,
the
yeah.
cages
Sweet.
and take them with me back to my growing flock of wild animals.
No,
Absolutely.
domesticated animals, actually. And eggs will be lovely in the morning, thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, we could probably take one of these potato plants with us too. But I'm definitely taking the chickens.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
how many beasts are here?
Oh, probably about 6 only.
All right,
There'd be
so-
like a work mule,
You know,
certainly, and
it's
maybe a
just-
workhorse,
It just
and then
occurred to me.
your mount.
It just occurred to me. We're pretty much like the old country doctor who gets paid in like chickens and cows. And
We
shit like that.
really are. So I'll just remember to make a point of it when we're back in Sterner to let someone know that there are these animals out here that are going to need to be tended to.
Yeah.
I imagine with the 30 or 40 heading to Cerner that somebody maybe took that into consideration and took them. You know,
Okay.
not as a stealing thing, but to take care of.
Right. Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab my 4 chickens and roll
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'll grab a couple extra chickens because you really want 6 for a group of 4.
Fair enough. So we'll take 6 chickens with us.
Yeah, because that way we should have at least 1 egg a day, plus all the sausage we eat. We eat way too much sausage. We should all be making con rolls every week.
Screwed.
We should all be making con rolls to make sure we don't like die of carb.
Okay. So you guys all get back to Cerner. The town. It takes them a little while to recover emotionally, and you find out that of the 40 or so people that got back to Cerner, about 30 of them were from Cerner, 10 were from the surrounding areas. Also, there was some citizens that died and never made it back. They're probably ashes now. Other than that, though, the town is extremely grateful. You can't buy any booze. You know, people buy all your booze, your food, your rooms comped at the Potato Inn.
Sweet.
And Vitter, the one remaining town guard, he's extremely grateful that this problem's been dealt with, and is, some of the houses are being reoccupied now.
Now,
They're being emptied
in
out.
conversation with him, Vitter knew Simmel. Does he want to take Simmel in and train him to be a guard? He's old enough.
Yeah, in fact, Vitter thinks that's a great idea. And you can certainly convince Simmel to do so if you want.
I'll after having that conversation, I'll come back to our table perhaps. And so is this guard? He says that also he can take Simmel, train him to be guard for Cerner.
Well, I suppose that would make sense too.
Well, he has house here that we know is still his. Is Simmel this is, and there's only 1 guard here now. So
Yeah, probably a good idea, and then ultimately it still helps Crossmeet by protecting our northern borders. So
it does.
makes sense to me.
Yes, sir. Don't matter.
No. I don't know. Is it,
He's a human child. Who cares?
but remember back when we talked to the guy here and the halfling friend of Simmel,
Yeah.
where he said he went up to the temple to buy herbs for his sick mom.
Right.
Do you think he was taken over back then?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Thereabouts or shortly after.
probably I would think up the second visit, but
Prolonged exposure is what kind of did his will in.
I guess it makes more sense that he's being a guard in his hometown.
yeah.
Guards have to know the area and the people.
Yeah, well, also like it's his home, right? So he has more incentive to protect it. And now he knows how bad it can go if you don't protect it.
Okay, so there is a celebration in the town of Sterner, although it's a bit subdued. Partly because there's some people that were dead, and partly because of the fear of what almost happened. Was really close. But you guys are certainly local heroes now in the town of Sterner, and as I said, all your drinks and food and rooms are paid for.
Yeah, we'll be staying at least the night and into tomorrow if we're getting free food
sure.
and drinks. So.
Yep.
we're
Okay, and
not gonna
so
leave that.
we're gonna end it right there, and level up for next week. Okay, we'll go to level 7. Thank you, anyone who's watching. We'll pick it up here next week.
Yeah, to anyone not watching, screw you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.